Okay.
That this hangout is live. You see it? There you go. You see it? Okay.
Yep, it says live.
And it says live,
We are
so
live.
we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? I'm Great One. He is Mr. Jamestown. This is the Gamers Lounge
Episode
podcast
702.
episode. Yeah, 702, I guess. We're doing it
We are
live.
podcast superstars.
Yeah, we're doing it live because it sucked recording. We had a lot of issues with recording, and you know what? The hell with it. What better way than to get to it is live?
That is right. All right, so we're tweeting this out. Let's see who our first guest will be.
I just had to mute it on my end because I had the YouTube video making sure that we thing. So it's a little bit of a delay, but not much.
Can you see it on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But I can't, right?
If you went to the link, you could, but it doesn't. You don't need to.
Okay.
Where'd you go? Oh, there you go. And I have it set
So,
up to where
all right,
what it
should be here.
talks. Yeah, there you go. Damn, a lot of shit going on.
All right.
Alrighty, so what do you want to get into topic first?
All right,
You want to talk about
I'm gonna tweet it. Tweet it. Hold on, I'm gonna tweet it on the other account. Let's see,
Okay.
just so people can see it. Well, first, let's find out. Okay, so what's going on with the dog? Like, how's everything? What was
All right, for those
the
that are
newest update?
wondering, Sparta, he's doing good. He's up and around. He's walking. He's starting to run, which I'm trying to prevent him from doing. He's at the point now where he's starting to go down the stairs on his own, which is good. As far as going upstairs, I'll carry him right now because he really can't put too much weight on his back legs. You know, he's going to the bathroom like normal. He's eating and drinking water like normal. He's starting to run around like tugging with us playing. So you could tell he's definitely doing better. So you figure another month or two of the therapy twice a month, and he'll be fine.
So he should have full recovery, no
Yep.
issues.
Nope.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Full recovery, no issues, and best of all, no surgery. I
Oh,
can't do
that's good.
surgery. Yeah, with a dog his size, surgery will do one of two things. Surgery is either going to paralyze him or it's going to kill him. So no, hell no, I'm not doing surgery. Like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And it's,
Well, speaking of animals, so I'm driving home from um, the gym this morning, and I'm going through my neighborhood, and we have like this little grass kind of field area, and the next thing you know, I see this. It wasn't like a pelican, but it was like a bird with really big wings, and it just scoops down and like just attacks this snake, picks it up, and just flies off with it, just hanging out of its mouth. It was it was pretty cool. It was just out of nowhere. This bird just like flies across the street and just like attacks this bird or this snake and just picks it up and just flies away with it like drive through.
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was it was just unexpected. It was mainly I was like, "What the heck is that?" And then I realized it was a snake, and I was like, "Oh, I now like birds because I hate snakes, so I will
You
take
don't like snakes
birds."
either? Yeah,
Oh, I will take birds over snakes any day of the week.
I hear you on
Any
that
day
one.
of the week.
Definitely hear you on
Um,
that one, boy. Oof.
I kind of want to wait to start the Advanced Warfare in case we get some people
All
in
right, well,
here.
let's see if we get some people in here.
I'm trying to
Oh,
tweet it out.
I'm gonna tweet it to a few people.
Let's get in, maybe
Mm,
Insidious Minds. How's Fiery doing?
she's doing good. I spoke to her.
How far along is she now?
She really didn't say how long she is with the pregnancy. Um, she finally moved out of where she was living, and things have definitely gotten better. So,
Oh, she moved out.
hmm
A new place.
yeah, she moved in with her mother, I think.
She moved in with her mother.
Yeah, well, you gotta figure she's divorcing her husband. So
Oh, she is?
yeah, there's a lot of shit going on, dude. There's a lot of shit that we need to talk about off this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's
damn.
she's doing good. She's doing it's for the better though. She'll pretty. If we all sit down and chat, she'll explain it. But at the same time, it's one of those where it's like,
New topic.
yeah, new topic. Pretty
All right.
much.
Try to get Nate in here. Um, come hop in knowledge. Yeah, I'm fixing the computer tomorrow. I'm going insane. I can't even send a tweet because my damn computer's going so slow.
Well, see, that sounds like a personal problem to me. You have
Yeah,
a bomb-ass computer. Like,
I know.
I'm so jelly for this computer, and you have the part to fix it, and you refuse. So you know
I
what?
know.
It's your fault. It's
I
your
know,
fault.
right? It is my
Oh,
fault.
so that way you can see. I jumped into split sex shooters stream like a week ago. And, I jumped in like I usually do, say hi, because he's trying to get a Twitch partner. So I was like, hey, how's it going? I retweeted the stream, I shared it, did everything with. And he's like, hey, great one, how's it going? Did you enter the contest? I'm like, what contest? He's like, we're having a contest. Literally, they gave out like Amazon gift cards. They were giving out controller face plates for like Xbox One. And I think
Oh,
it was other
really?
contests as well. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I entered my name. I did the little thing to enter. And I ended up winning, and here it is.
Oh, you got a controller? Or
I
what is
got
that?
it's a faceplate. The faceplate goes over the controller.
Oh, that's what's
I
up.
like it. Yeah, like see, this is how it looks with nothing on, and that way you can see the controller. And then when I do the
Oh,
magic, it just snaps on. Like I like it. It
now
gives the controller. Yeah, it just snaps right on the controller.
does it affect like your
Gaming?
game,
No,
like
nope.
make it thicker?
That was that was the first thing I see. I see that way. I can show you real quick. This is the thickness of it. So it's like
Right?
paper thin. Like it's solid. It's firm. It doesn't affect the controls. That was the first thing like the missus and I were talking about. I mean, I like it. It doesn't affect anything. The thumbsticks, the buttons, the home button, the Xbox, the power button. It doesn't affect anything. I mean, I like it. You know what? You can't complain. I mean, it's good advertisement. That's why I did a thank you video. I just posted it. Feel free to check that out if you want. It's the video before this one, since this will be on my channel. I mean, I thought it was really nice, because I'm always on the assumption I don't win shit, and yet I end up winning a lot more than I.
Oh, I don't want
Yeah.
you always win. Yeah, I do not want to hear that you do not always win stuff. Uh, you, all I ever see is full sale contest, great one winner. Full sale contest, great one winner.
Don't judge
I
me,
mean,
dude. Don't judge
I
me.
mean, I'm not. I mean, that's good for you. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear you say that you don't win stuff.
Well, it was nice to. Needless to say, it was nice to see. Like as far as that, I'm trying to get the stream out there as well. So don't it was nice to win that because um I'm not big on like things like this, but you know what? It definitely like it made me change my mind. Like, you know what? It's actually pretty neat. So,
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Well, I guess let's just start hammering out some of these advanced warfare topics.
all right. Well, I'm gonna post this real quick and see if
Yeah, I'm trying to post it out to people I think that may want to just grab a.
mhm.
So they have to be on Google and they just have to click that link.
Well, yeah, they don't even have to be on Google. What that is gonna do is put them into. They can watch the YouTube channel. If they want to be in the stream, then we have to give them the link that's above. That's above the URL.
Oh, so do we want to take and put that link out?
I would take questions first before we invite people in here. I mean, it's up to you,
Okay.
however you want to do it. But if
So where do we see the chat then and all this stuff?
you have to, I think you have to have. Well, I have YouTube open, so if anybody posts anything in chat, I'll be able to see it.
Okay, let me go to the YouTube thing. Let me actually click on this link of what it says here.
And, like people post, they'll post comments, and when you see the comments, that's their chat. So I don't know. Did what were
Because I
well?
just posted out the link that you told me to post.
Okay. Yeah, that's the YouTube, so that way they can watch it. But if you want to invite them in, then we give them the link that's above us. I don't know, man. I really want to
I
get
thought
this.
we'd just post out
Wow.
the.
Yeah, well, then we'll have a whole bunch of people in there, and then it'll be hard to be able to talk. So I figure we start off like this first and get people in here, so that way they're. Do you talk to yourself all the time? Sometimes I need to consult with a smart mofo. Someone just asked me, do I talk to myself? So, you know what? I responded with that. Can't,
All right, now
can't,
I. Okay, now I have. All right, let me go to YouTube. I cannot figure out this link.
what,
It's
what,
not.
what, what's not computing for you? And I'm not being a smart ass here. I'm actually asking you, like, what's not
When I
computing?
click the link that's in the when
When
I'm
you,
clicking the link that's
in Twitter?
in the Twitter,
Okay.
it says the one that's right above. I sent you an invite. That oh, that's going to take me to the Google Hangout. Where do I see the
Yeah.
YouTube one?
The one that I sent you on Twitter.
Oh, that's in.
The one
Okay,
that you
so I can just
retweeted
go
on
to my
Twitter?
page. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Okay.
Yeah, the actual what not your DM, the actual Twitter what you retweeted is the stream. Come on, people, come in here. You know you want to talk it up, chat it up.
All right, so let's just start with this.
Okay.
I
Shoot.
mean, I saw your video. I saw your video on your thoughts, but
Okay.
just if you were to give Advanced Warfare a thumbs up or a thumbs down, just as an overview, do you thumbs it up or thumbs it down?
I would thumbs. Here's why I would give it a thumbs up. Infinity Ward isn't Infinity Ward now. So let's just face facts. Infinity Ward, Tina, Candace, I don't want to get into some of the other people, but you guys are a shadow of what you originally were.
Funny
Hence
how you
why.
only name females.
Well, I could also name Chance Glasgow. I mean, these are all Infinity Ward people as well.
No, no, no. I'm just saying. It's funny how you only only
Because
seem
right
to.
now those are the face. Those two are the face of Infinity Ward. Whenever you have an issue, they're like the PRs right now. If you have a question, oh, go to them. They'll answer for you. So that's why I go. I
Well,
stated
if
them.
you had a company, wouldn't you want an attractive female to be your
See, here's
face?
here's the thing. I wouldn't mind having an attractive female to be the face of my company, but she can't be a dingbat. I'm not
Yeah, true.
calling them dingbats, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that were overlooked on the game, and whether or not they had any influence on that, it's one thing. It's like when the presenter, whoever the hell, I forgot his name, the guy who announced the Xbox One at E3, before it came out, he was all, oh yeah, the console's meant to do this, 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 and this. And what happened? Xbox went against all that. It made him look like a retard. He ended up resigning, and then he moved on to another company.
Right.
So it's one of those things where if you truly stand by your product and if you truly believe in it, then you have to stick by it. You don't just tuck tail and run first chance you get.
Right.
So with them, a lot of questions were left unanswered. At the same time, okay, thank you, Insidious Minds. I think he just liked it. Anyway, but at the same time, if there's issues with the game, okay, let's say, all right, for instance, a lot of people were still complaining about dead silence or whatever. Let's just use that as an example. 6 months down the line, it doesn't get patched. Well, you know what? Issue a statement. State why it wasn't patched, because they felt the need that it was already balanced. Okay, say that. Don't just
Right.
ignore, the overwhelming majority and just cater to the pro players.
Right.
Because I mean, let me tell you, if I can grab my tablet, and I don't even know where the hell my tablet is right now. Actually, you know what? Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to grab it. Because this is one of those things where, let me tell you, I took so much notes. I mean, the misses when Gamescom went on and when they had the review, and the reveal for Advanced Warfare, she knew, all right, you know what? I need to leave him alone because he's taking notes. Literally, I took so much notes, and I'm just gonna put them up on
Well,
the.
let's keep it in
Yeah.
category. Because I got a bunch of like topics, so we can. Well, like I want to hear
Okay.
your notes, especially because you're gonna give me like I'm gonna give the average consumer side of things,
Okay.
and I
And
think you're gonna give the more advanced gamer because you definitely game obviously a lot more than me, but also a more technical side. So it'll be good because you'll have like basically you'll have just your run of the mill consumer, and then you'll have your like insider type
okay.
knowledgeable person.
Okay. All right.
I
We
think
have a
it'll be a
we have a
good mix.
question. We have a question.
Okay.
It's from a personal friend of mine, Thomas Lawson. Yeah, I want to say grab a scrunchie for that Jesus hair. Prick. Then my question is with you, your knowledge of advanced warfare, with what have we seen, do you feel like they are biting off some other games, example Titanfall, etc.? It's funny you bring that up. And you know what? I'm going to keep an open mind like I promised Ish. The Ish Network, if you're out there, I'm going to keep my word. I'm going to keep a clear mind with it, and I'm gonna be open minded with it. Now, with that being said, just not even from a developer game student, just me playing the game, watching the multiplayer reveal, just alone on the cloaking. If you're a gamer, the first two games that come to mind with cloaking, if you had a chance to play them, the first one would be Titanfall because that's the most recent. The second would be, going throwback here, Crisis. Regardless if it's 1, 2, or 3. I mean, they were all good games, but they're picking. They're picking. They're picking from this game. They're picking from that game. And yes, they're giving their own their own twist on it. But at the same time, they have to take into account that it didn't work in Crisis. It didn't work in Titanfall because a lot of people were complaining about the cloaking. That was the one thing that took the huge hit during the beta. So, do I feel like they're not really biting? They're picking. They're taking. Okay, what
which
was?
which which isn't a bad thing
No, it's
because
not.
if
I
they can pick things that maybe didn't go well but were popular and they could make it work, like I didn't play Crisis,
Right.
but if that was like a cool feature, kind of like how
It's like ingredients.
like
Go ahead.
well, like how theater mode, like it was an awesome feature in Black Ops 2, but if it's going to take and cause issues with, the connection and the hit detection,
Right.
then, okay, then in one sense it was a bad feature, in one sense it was a good feature. Now, if another game developer wants to take and say, hey, I'm going to, I know some people didn't like theater mode because of these problems, but I'm going to make it work, then I think that's a good feature.
Right. No, I definitely agree. There was a lot of things. Huh. Damn, questions are really starting to come in. Okay. All right. I'm gonna finish my question and then we're gonna move on to the next one. Uh, do I feel that they're biting? It's I'm gonna be on the safe side. I'm gonna say they're not really biting. Think of it as ingredients to like a cake. You know, whatever, like let's say my favorite thing is, I don't know, cheesecake. So, you know, they're picking little things to make that cake. So, you know, they're picking like the double jump was in Crisis. You also had the boosting as far as not boosting in the gameplay, like the boosting with like leveling, like as far as like, you know, ascending and descending from Titanfall. Yes, it was a good
Right.
feature, but do I feel it's going to be how successful it's going to be in a COD game? I honestly don't know.
Well, okay, now
Because,
on the boosting, while we're on that,
hmm
I was thinking about it. Okay, when I first saw the when I heard the double jump and all that stuff, and this was around the Titanfall hype and everything, and I was like, okay, this is going to be just like Titanfall. Now,
right.
after watching the multiplayer, um, I don't think it's going to be exactly like Titanfall, and the reason why is because the one thing that I honestly didn't like about Titanfall was the whole like. Just it was too futuristic for me. I think with Call of Duty, the Advanced Warfare, they're giving it the futuristic, and the double jump thing I think could actually be very useful because there's a lot of times where in Ghost or in Black Ops 2, I would get stuck like trying to get over a ledge
Yeah,
or
traversing
climb
throughout
over
the
a wall.
map. Right.
Exactly. And there were so many times where I got shot when I'm sitting there trying to crawl through something versus if I could just double jump and go over this, wall or jump onto this ledge, I think it would make the game faster because it takes forever and a day to like, especially like, okay, think of in Ghost when you're trying to get into what is it, Overlord, and you're trying to get into that second story building at B, trying to
Right.
get through that window, and you got to crouch and all that. It takes forever. Versus if you could just double jump or whatever and go straight into that window, I think it would speed up the gameplay a lot. So at first, that was probably the one thing I was like, not
You
happy
was
about.
you were skeptical.
I was not having that. But the only problem I see with it is now it's going to be like trying to shoot birds out of the sky. Like, I think that's going to be annoying because now you don't have to worry about just the ground. Now, not just that they're in the air, but now they can move up and down in the air.
Yeah.
And that I think is going to be a little annoying. And
It's
if it's
it's
like, I mean, Ghost, especially like with Ghost, I mean, you die so quickly because there's 47 different ways that you can get shot,
yeah.
and that's just off of the ground. So now I also have to look around for fairies in the air with machine guns.
Yeah. See
Like,
see what I noticed as well from the reveal, the hover was it was really useful. Like
oh, I'm not
I
excited about the hover at all.
see the thing is the hover doesn't bother me because
Oh,
you
that's
tend to get practice from other games. Like for instance, I'm just gonna make this quick off topic. If you've played, and this is strictly to you there, Mr. PS4, Infamous. If regardless if you play good or bad, you do inherit like a new special power, if you will, that allows you to hover. And while
right.
hovering, you can shoot. So realistically, me hovering in third person shooting is not going to be that hard in first person, knowing I'm aiming down sights. Like honestly, I'm looking forward to it because if you
I'm
look
not
at
so worried about like aiming and how hard it's going to be to actually
yeah
use it. I'm not. I'm thinking of now. It's like camping on a whole new level.
in midair,
Because now you're gonna not just be able to sit in a corner, but now you're gonna be like up in the air in a corner. Like it
yeah,
just seems like you're gonna, turn a corner and there's gonna it's literally gonna look like fairies in the sky. Like, they're gonna be like hovering over, a B flag or something like that. I think it's, I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out, but I wish if there was one thing that I'm would probably put at the bottom of my list of excitement, it's the hover feature.
okay. My question to you: did you watch the trailer? Right, you watched the reveal.
I watched the reveal and I watched the
Did
trailer,
you
yes.
did you notice that they didn't? Well, I didn't see it. Maybe I may have maybe I just made a missed it or whatnot. They didn't show you cloaking in midair, like hovering. Imagine cloaking and hovering. Oh my God, I
That would be, yeah.
that's gonna be annoying. Like hands down, I could see that's gonna be
Now,
fucking
but
annoying.
I thought cloaking was just something you like earned on a streak or something. Or is it
No,
just that everybody gets it, but you can only do it for a
cloaking.
certain amount of
So
period?
cloaking has a time limit on it, but there are also perks that allow
But
you
is
to
it
do other
like
things
if you
while
use up that
cloaking.
time, do you get
Yeah,
it? You
yeah, it builds up. It
so
builds
you're
up.
gonna constantly be able to cloak,
Yeah, you can cloak till you go blue in the face, pretty
and you're
much.
gonna
You'll
constantly be able
cloak.
to hover. You
Yeah,
just have
you'll.
to constantly
You're
recharge.
gonna like what they were
Uh,
talking about on the multiplayer, as far as like when they showed it on Twitch today. They really got in depth regarding the exoskeleton suit, which I like, because the one thing that they mentioned that I didn't really notice initially was that your exoskeleton suit has built-in trophy system. Now, whether or not,
oh yeah, I did see that.
yeah, so that's one thing that I do commend them on, but at the same time, the perks that go with that. I just hope that they make it balanced because it looked balanced in the multiplayer trailer. Then I've been watching, people post videos and like the stream today, a lot more like they had the pro players actually playing it. They had TCM versus I forgot the other team, but they had TCM versus another team. I think they had Envious there, so they had a lot of pro players, getting their hands on it, actually experimenting with the game. So sorry, I just heard the dog move. So
Well,
it's
a lot
good.
of people have gotten
Yeah.
to play it, because like I know T Martin said he got to play it, and a bunch of other Chaos Six Silencer got to play it, and you know, and it seems, but I mean, I'm sure they would say that about any Call of Duty. They tell you it's exciting, it's
Right.
gonna be the best Call of Duty yet, blah blah blah. I mean,
All right. We're gonna go on to the next question because I
okay, so
definitely I'm
when you ask the question, tell us who's the one that asked
okay.
it.
All right,
Give them like a
Thomas.
shout out.
All right, Thomas Lawson asked another question, and then my buddy Otto asked a question, which I don't know why it didn't come up on the YouTube, but it came up on my phone. So I'm gonna read his question, and I'm gonna go on to the next. All
Okay.
right. All right. Thomas asked, "Do you think that video game companies are going towards open betas now to help build the hype for their game?"
Oh, I was hoping he was going to say something else, but
All right. Well,
uh,
you give
what?
your thoughts on it first, and then I'll
Okay.
respond if you don't mind.
As a consumer, because I'm going to give you the consumer side. I wish every game would have a beta because not so much. I mean, yes, to build the hype, but more importantly, because Call of Duty has hype. It doesn't matter. Like they could just say they could release a Call of Duty game and then 3 months later say they're releasing another one, and it would have hype. They don't have to. There's too big of a fan base to worry about building the hype. It's going to
Yeah,
build.
the branding thing.
Now, with that being said, I think this would be one of the hardest Call of Duties to sell the next one just because of how bad Ghost was for a lot of people. I personally didn't mind it, but a lot of people that got completely turned off on Ghost may not have already pre-ordered it, but we'll get into that in another topic. But
Right.
um, I think the reason why I would want beta on a game like Call of Duty or on a game like Destiny, Titanfall, whatever, is to improve it. I would want them to do a beta, have one map to test on some different things so that they can already work on getting things balanced before the game is launched. That would be the number one reason why I'd want them to have a beta. Not to, build hype or anything like that, but just
Free
fix
beta
some of the
testing.
problems.
Free beta
You know,
testing. Like,
Exactly. I mean, you think about it. If these game developers, when they make this game, they have people obviously play it that are not game developers. I'm sure there's, people that they hire, students, whatnot, that they either have to pay or some type of compensation or whatnot for
yeah.
them to take and have to play. If you do a beta, it's free. You just release some codes. You get actual people from all over the world, not like in some LAN party in a classroom, and
Right.
you can see actually how is my game performing and get some of these embarrassing things that happen fixed before, because if it's like bad spawns or something in a beta, people aren't gonna like blow up on it, or if they get noob tubed or something in a beta, it's like, oh, it's a beta. Like people don't take it as serious. As soon as
Right.
it's released, everyone has their try hard panties on, and
No.
and instead of waiting until Christmas to have a decent game, with most of the bugs fixed, let's have it fixed and ready to go on the
On
day it comes
launch.
out.
On launch, exactly. All right. That was
Your
a
opinion.
all right, that was a good response, but here's some throwback knowledge for you. COD
All
4
right.
was the first COD, to my knowledge. I may be wrong, and if anyone in the chat or anyone on the stream, feel free to chime in on this. Um, COD 4 had initially did a beta, but the problem was because of the fact that a lot of people enjoyed the weapons so much, they failed to make that notification like, hey, this gun's too overpowered. I had fun playing it, but it's too overpowered. Hence why the MP5, what was it? The MP5 was OP as shit. I think the AK from COD 4 it's still a little OP. I mean, there was so many things that went wrong with that beta in terms of COD, not just betas in general, but directly towards COD. I think that's one of the reasons why they said, all right, scrap it, we're not going to do it, because the track history speaks for itself. Now, on the other hand, because of the fact that betas now it's not only a good way to get your game out, but it's also a good way to, like how you said, to get feedback where it's needed. Now, what I would do if I were them, I totally would have, and that's permitting the game could have gotten done, within reason. I would have done what Battlefield Hardline did. I love the fact they did that. And the only reason why I'm using that game is because I thought that was brilliant at E3. Hey, guess what? You want to play the game? You can download it right now. That's big. That's real big on a game that you're just, hey, you know what? Here's my new gift to you guys. Whatever the case may be. You want to play
Right.
it? Download that shit right now. You can't go wrong with that.
So
Oh
you're
my
saying
God, just
have it
the
available when they release the multiplayer?
yeah, like if they can, like with Advanced Warfare, they could have done 2 to 4 maps, or maybe two. You know what? They could have done two, and they could have done at least 2 game modes. They could have done, the uplink, which everybody's saying reminds them of Quidditch, myself included, but
Reminds
they
me of dodgeball.
right, or dodgeball. But they could have done that. They could have had 3 to 4 game modes, 2 maps. Hey, guess what? You know what? You want to try it? Bam! Download that shit right now.
Okay, I disagree with that a little bit.
Why?
I wouldn't have it. I don't think I would have it available immediately because which kind of is going to contradict myself, but as far as building hype,
Man,
if you have a Gamescom, you have an E3, you have some event, that creates a bunch of hype. I would say maybe in like a week, or I would say, you know what? Pre-order it, and when you pre-order it, you're going to get a code, just like
with
something like that
with
that
Destiny,
would get you. Because I think if they did that, or maybe not even make it to where it's maybe say they're gonna have 3 betas. If you pre-order it, you get all 3. Hand out a bunch of codes, give a bunch of codes to YouTubers.
right?
Have it to where you can sign up to like be a code distributor or something like that, to where you
Yeah.
can get codes. But I wouldn't make it available right away just because I think that would hurt the hype just a little bit.
See that.
But
Go ahead, and then I have a response for that.
my thing is just like there's no negative effect of having a beta
True,
that I can think of.
but
You get people to play it, you get people to talk about it, you get to fix out bugs, you get to see how the game performs. It creates, like a buzz,
right.
very very little cost.
The only issue that I see with a beta is if the game itself isn't fun.
Okay.
That's the only
Well,
real
then
issue.
you're gonna have a bad game regardless. Then
True, but you know what
it's
though? That also informs the consumer, hey, you know what? This game sucks. I'm not gonna buy it.
but they're gonna put
Because
their best. Like if they're gonna do a beta
they're gonna
for
put their best
Ghost,
foot forward,
they're gonna
right?
put Strike Zone on there,
Right.
and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, this is a great game." I mean, now
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still up there, but they had Strike
Right.
Zone 24/7 over the weekend or
Right.
something,
Yeah,
and you
because
could
they
literally
did the
just
double
play.
weapon XP, and yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. If that was a beta map, now if they put something like Stonehaven up there,
Oh,
you
forget it.
know,
It would have sucked ass. Nobody would have wanted it just for that
I
match. Just
mean,
for
they would have to give away a free Xbox with the game just for you to buy it.
yeah.
But I mean, if they had, something like Strike Zone, I just think they could one fix out a lot of the kinks. And then you know what? Here's a great idea. After, have them like or maybe they have to have the Call of Duty app to take
Yeah.
and use and to get a code. And then
Yeah.
after they get done, have it send you a survey and say, "Hey, just a one quick question survey like what
Yeah,
did
like
you think of this
it'll have like
feature?"
10 questions. What'd you think of this? What'd
Yeah.
you think of that? Right. Okay, so that one I'll definitely agree with you on. All right, next
I mean,
question.
like,
When
all
you're
right,
done.
next
No,
question.
next question. We'll have to come back to this. All right, the next question comes from Autotech327. Question. Let me click on the link because it didn't come up with the whole thing. So give me one moment. Three, two, one. There we go. All right. Do you think they are putting too much in and not paying attention to the basics?
Yes.
That's a
Yes, yes,
very good
yes, yes.
question.
Yes, and I'll let you answer, but that is actually one of those things. I took notes as well, and I wrote it down angry. But go ahead. I want to
Okay.
hear your opinion.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay. Here's how I feel about that. If you guys remember last year, they posted that trailer. Do you remember what that trailer was?
Well, if it wasn't a Call of Duty trailer, I wouldn't know.
It was, are you ready to get back to basics? That was the trailer. Let's get ready to get back to basics, or are you ready to get back to basics? Obviously that didn't happen.
Okay.
Because basics, if they really want to go back to basics, basics would be Killstreak 357. And that's COD 4, which it was nice at the time, but the way the demand is now, 357 wouldn't cut it. So
Right.
there's only so much that they can do with regards to basics. I do think that they have veered away from it, but at the same time, they have to keep some of it in for relevance.
Well, but you also can't have a futuristic game and then go back to the basics.
Well, you can, but it would be different developers. Because you figure, all right, I'm just going out on a limb saying this, and then I'm going to let you finish. Black Ops 2 went futuristic, right? Right.
Right.
Ghost was futuristic as well. It wasn't as futuristic as Black Ops 2, but it was in the future. All right, that's two. Advanced Warfare is as, I mean, these guys might as well have jumped into the DeLorean and was like, all right, I'll see you in like 500 years.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
wait. With
go
that
ahead.
being said, next year, because of the fact it's Treyarch, they're not going in the future. They're going in the past. I could totally see them doing some kind of World War thing, knowing that they've already done that. Because a world like World War II, they're gonna go back into that era. Why? A lot of people want it. A lot of people don't want that futuristic. I mean, I'm not saying Advanced Warfare is gonna bomb. It is gonna make its money, but I don't think it'll make as much money as it could have if that
Do you think
style
it'll
of
make more than
game.
Ghost?
It might. It might because the pre-sales for it, knowing that now if you pre-ordered or if you already have it pre-ordered, you get the 24-hour access, which is they're calling Day Zero.
Right.
That's actually really good.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll get into that a little
yeah,
bit. Let's
we'll
stay
get
on this.
into that. But all right, I have another question. Hold on.
Well, hold on. I didn't get the answer.
What are you talking about? You
I
have
didn't
to
get
answer.
to. Okay, the customization thing.
Mm-hmm.
What made me upset about it is, and if there's issues with the game, like with how it plays, like big issues, and they spent so much time on this customization, I don't need 47 different color army pants to put on my character. I don't care about that. I don't care about if I have, 18 different pairs of glasses to choose from or face paint marks.
Right.
Customization is fine, but keep it to like 10 or 15 or something like that. If you want to customize things, the one thing that would generate more that people would be more excited about, bring back Black Ops 2 where you could put like your clan logo on your gun. Like something like that is going to create a lot more excitement. The reason
Yeah.
why is there's lots of people, myself included, that had a clan trying to build a brand, things like that. To have my clan members have the clan tag on the gun, as a clan leader, as someone building a brand, I'm like, this is great. I mean, I even had a contest for someone who could get the best kill cam with the clan tag as the final kill cam. I mean, those are things that if you want to take and have customization of a character, that they need to incorporate. It
Right.
can't be that hard to put 4 letters on a gun. I mean, if Black Ops 2 did it, I mean,
See.
use that code. But it's just when they spend so much time on customization, it's like, okay,
Right.
the one of the biggest things was how you could customize your soldier in Ghost. I felt like they spent so much time giving me all these different options to take and customize things, and they didn't spend time making the game actually playable and workable.
Right. Right.
It's like
I
that. I think
no, I
could have
agree with you
been
on that one.
too much energy spent on customization, not on mechanics.
Right. See, that's where they had their issue. You know, I mean, Ghost wasn't a bad game. The mechanics was good. The hit detection was great. The maps were too big, so that's where their problem was. Their ship maps were like damn near battlefield maps. Like,
Yeah,
give me
the
a
new
vehicle.
maps are
So,
good.
right, the
The,
new maps were amazing. I have nothing bad to say about any of the new maps.
yeah,
Some of the well, the new maps really weren't bad. If put it this way, if I had to choose, and I'll make this quick, if I had to choose between ship maps or new maps, fuck ship maps. I'm taking the new maps, and that's my game. But
yeah. Oh,
but from a developer standpoint, you have to understand why they did that. Why they made the map so big, so that way they can get people to get the season pass or the map packs. Because not everybody can afford the season pass. They can only get the map pack. So each month, or every 3 months, they'll get the new map pack, so that way they can stay online with their friends. But all right, we have another question for you.
all right.
Uh, where is it? Without the hype and just a beta, do you think that Titanfall would have been a success?
Say it
The
again.
without the hype and just the beta, do you think that Titanfall would have been a success?
Uh,
All right, I'm gonna let you answer that one, and then I'm gonna answer that one.
okay. I mean, of course, if it didn't have the hype, it wouldn't be as big.
And and we're getting all your questions, guys. Just be patient with us. We're gonna answer them here
Yes. Who
shortly, so we're
who
not
who
ignoring you.
answered that one? Who answered that?
All right,
Who asked that one? By the way.
Peter, my friend Peter answered that one. He's Snake Eyes, I think 1077 online, so that's his gamer tag. But yeah, we're gonna answer your question now, Peter. Go ahead, James.
All right, so definitely for sure, if you don't have the hype, the game obviously is not going to be as big. I think a lot of people, I think what really, really helped Titanfall, like in the beginning, was that so many people were upset with COD. So they had played Black Ops 2 for a year. Ghost wasn't cutting it for 94% of the people out there. And it was like, you know what? Like, I think that's why the Destiny beta did so well. I
It's because
think
they
that's
needed
why
a
the
retreat.
Titanfall
Yeah.
people are just like, you know what? Give me anything right now. So I think that's what really helped Titanfall. I think what really hurt Titanfall was that it wasn't on the PS4. I think if it would have been on the PS4, that definitely would have helped because Xboxes they're not selling. So to release a game that is only on the system that's not selling as well, that's going to have a huge impact, on the beta. Um, but I think regardless, even without the consoles and without that, I think people were just looking for something different, and I think it would have been successful, but to define successful, would it be, is it successful on COD standards? No. Is it successful on a brand new game when there was really nothing else other to play? Yeah, okay, you could say it was a success,
Right.
but the bar wasn't set very high if they were to release a Titanfall 2.
See,
That's
here's how I feel about Titanfall, and I mean, feel free to chime in when you guys want after the response. I mean, even after James' response, what this is what I personally believe as a gamer. What sold Titanfall? The fact that they kept announcing from the original makers of Call of Duty. For me, oh shit, guys from Infinity Ward, they're making a new game. It's got to be good.
yep.
But you see where I'm coming from with it though, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
the
didn't think
game's
about
got
that,
to
but
be
you're
good.
right.
Like it sold itself. Like that branding. See, that's what happens when you develop that relationship with, consumer, producer, whatever, when you develop that kind of relationship, it's damn near unbreakable unless you feel like you've been done wrong.
Right.
So
And that's
with
why I was saying, going back to, does Call of Duty need to build the hype? No, they don't. They
no,
can say, look at this. They can say,
right.
hey, we just built this game. Everyone go play this. And what happened? Everybody went and played that.
But do I think that the beta for Titanfall would have been a success? I think the hype itself was based on the name. The beta was nice, and the reason why the beta was nice is because the beta wasn't overloaded. Yes, they had over several million, people playing it, but at the same time, it wasn't 10 million people. Let's say 10 million people buy a game, and those servers at
Well,
any given
Ghost hasn't
time,
had 10 million.
right? But I'm saying, like, let's just think. Let's take a lower
They're
number. Let's
lucky to
say,
get 10,000.
right. So let's just break down the number. Let's just just for shits and giggles, a million people buy Titanfall. Okay, that's a million people online at any given time, permitting they're all playing, whatever time zone, whatever. Titanfall's beta played so smooth because there was probably maybe 100,000, 200,000, or even a million. So let's say if a million people were playing the beta, and let's say there's 10 million people that eventually get the game. Dedicated servers can only do so much. That's why even with Battlefield, a lot of people say, oh my God, Battlefield servers are amazing. But you know what it is, though? That's all that they focus on. You buy the server. That's why their servers are so good. You rent a server. So if I wanted to rent a server, I could have, however many people in there, and I can have it set up to my rules, like custom rules. Like, I don't want pistols. Okay, so you know what? In my server, there's no pistols. That's the reason why Battlefield has been so successful with servers, which is smart because you know what? You're funding the game. You're indirectly funding the game because you know what? I don't like this server. I want to play my own server with my own rules, so fuck it. I'm going to make a server.
You can't do that with
You can't do that with COD. No.
yeah.
All right, we have another question.
Oh, before you read that,
Okay.
can you just announce if you guys want to take and ask us a question, you can also just follow us on Twitter and just ask us right on our Twitter. It's at Gamers Lounge TV, and we can answer your questions there as well.
Yeah, so at Gamers Lounge TV on Twitter if you guys want to ask more questions as well. I got a text from my buddy Orlando, but hold on, let me go down the line. See, we should have done this shit for the stream for the first time.
Yes, I think that, and
Don't
and
worry,
this is the first time,
I'm
guys.
glad you
This is the first
survived.
time we've done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
This
a
is
bow on this one.
yes. This was hey. Well, no. The whole point. The reason why we call this a gamers lounge is because we're trying to make this like a lounge environment. You can hop in for 10 minutes. You can hop in for 2 hours, however long we're here, and you can kind of interact. Like pull
If
up a chair, grab a
if
drink, and whatever. You
Yeah,
can be
I mean,
playing a
if
game
if
or
you
whatever.
guys have Google Plus and you're not afraid to, come on stream, we'll give you the link. You don't even
As
have to use a
long
camera.
as
You don't even have to use
you
a
have a
camera.
decent, you need a decent mic. That is
Yeah,
one requirement. You need a
yeah.
decent mic, and but if you wanna take and be on a a future stream or whatever, just follow us on Twitter and let us know, and we'll get to you. So, okay,
All
what
right.
is the next? I
All
just
right.
wanted to put our link out there so
Okay.
people can.
My buddy Calvin, he posted Destiny did it right. Okay, so you know what? I will agree with you on that one because I'm going down the line. All right, the next question from Snake Eyes, which is Pete. One more question. Remaking old maps on COD, bad or good? How many times can we play
Ooh.
Nuketown? That's a really good fucking question.
It
That is a
is.
really good question.
Okay, here's let's go with Ghost. So Unearth is the remake of Dome, right? Yeah.
Right.
Make sure I got the maps right. Okay.
No, you're right. Unearthed is
I
done.
like Dome a lot. I don't like Unearthed. And to me,
Bingo.
it does not. I don't know what it is. I understand it looks the same, but the something about the flows, something about uh, I don't know what it is, but I don't have like when I see Unearthed, I don't think, oh man, it's Dome. Yes, okay, you know what? It's 2 in the morning. I was gonna go to bed, but it's Dome. I gotta play it.
Yeah, on
Honestly,
MW3,
it
if it
doesn't
was
happen.
Dome, you wanted to play it because Dome was
Exactly.
the map on MW3. I mean, I've had,
It's just
some of my most enjoyable times, even with your clan. I'm pretty sure you played with your clan on MW3.
right.
That is one map that I can say playing with my clan has been the most enjoyable time on that game.
Yeah, I
But
mean, even the same with like the favela. I mean,
right.
it's yeah, I don't know. It's nice it's a good memory, to reincorporate the old game,
Yeah.
but I just don't
See,
have as much fun.
see, all right. Here's the thing with that, and Pete, you may want to shoot me on this one. I don't know. All right, how many times can we play Nuketown? That's a good example. And here's the thing with remaking maps. Do I agree necessarily? Is it okay? Jesus. Do I necessarily agree that it's okay to remake maps? Yes, under a few conditions. If you make the map like, all right, Nuketown on for Black Ops 1 was amazing. It was perfect for the game. It was great. Black Ops 2, Nuketown was traumatizing, and here's why. The guns were different.
Yes. Yeah, and
The
that's
weaponry was
gonna
different. The perks were different. The
exactly the
streaks were
perks.
different.
Yes,
There
you
was
nailed it.
there was so
Yep.
much that influenced that game. That's why the map was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now, if they would have catered, the way I look at it, if you're gonna remake a map, and this is what I'm definitely gonna implement when I do make a game like this. If I make a map, if I remake a map, let's say okay, Nuketown 7000 I make. I'm gonna make the map catered to the fucking weaponry of the game. If
Yeah.
people want to have that nostalgic feeling of the game, I'm going to cater the map according to what's in the game. The game engine, the camera angles, the map, the layout, the weapons, the way people camp, ghost, tack insertions, the what was that bullshit that you threw and it was like the portable radar you throw it, the sensor grenade, like I would make you cater the map according to the play style of the game. Black Ops 1 was fast paced. Black Ops 2 was fast paced as well, but at the same time, it was also it did introduce camping because a lot of people just play like that. I mean, you can take the game away from you can take the person you can take the game away from the person. You can't take the person out of the game. Like if they're gonna camp, they're gonna camp. That's them. That's it. If that's how they
Yeah.
play, that's how they play. I mean, that's it. Omni Domini, you're done. But do I feel that Nuketown or remaking maps on COD bad or good? It's good if you cater it to the game. You have to cater it to to the weapons, the perks, the kill streaks. It's good to bring nostalgia back, but not overdo it. Because Black Ops 2, Firing Range Remake was amazing. However, when they brought back Stadium, it didn't play the same.
Yeah, it's gotta play the same, but the perks can like make it or break it,
Right.
because it might be fun because, like let's say, like I don't know how to. I'm trying to think of a good example of a new perk that kind of messed up because they've had a lot of the same perks, but
Ish, I'm gonna answer your question next, or
when
ask you
when
to answer
it's
it.
when it's something to where it makes it different, or a certain perk makes it to where it's not the same enjoyable experience, or not even so much whether it's enjoyable but just different, then
Right.
it's not the same. It's not a remake. It's not a remake if
Yeah,
I don't get
it's
the same feelings
right.
of when I play the game in Modern Warfare 2 as I do in Advanced Warfare, then it's not a remake.
Right. See, that's where a
It's
lot of people. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's not a remake. It's a map
Yeah.
like.
See, that's where people fail to realize remake versus remastered.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference, and a lot of people fail to realize that. But let me know,
All right, let's
Pete.
move to
Let
the
me
next
know,
question.
Pete, if that answered your question. All right, my next question. Holy shit, who's this? All right, the next question is from Ish. What do I think about? I don't know. I like the fact they're not coming up. Hold on. Let me re. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna refresh the thing real quick. All right. Hold on. Let me see, because Ish asked a good question, and I definitely want to answer that.
I got a bunch of them written down too, so we'll see how much they come up with.
Yeah, because they're asking questions left and right. So, mute this shit. All right, hold
We're
on.
gonna need like a.
I'm telling you, like, we should have done
We're gonna
this a
need someone
long
just.
time ago. All right, Ish. I'm gonna answer your. Well, try to answer your question. What do
All
I
right.
think about custom score streaks? Okay, that's part one of the
Yes.
question. Second part of the question: how far you think you'll be able to go as far as customization? Okay, me and you had a chat about this earlier on group me or whatever. So
Say
you already
Groupon.
well, no, he already has an idea what they should do, which it looks like they're doing. I don't want to give away too much of the game, but it looks like they're gonna have score streaks catered to the maps. And you know what? That actually is a good idea. Reason being, there if you have custom score streaks catered to the map, there's no chance of it being OP. Like if you took a chopper gun in Black Ops 1 and you're on jungle, chopper gunner on Black Ops 1 is going to be OP as shit. Why? Because there's no buildings to hide in. But if you find that even balance versus, the kill streak and map, as far as like map location, yeah, I think it'll be great. I mean, there
So what?
isn't.
It does less damage on a map that doesn't have as many
No.
buildings. It
If
does.
you have, like, if they want to have, like, all right, let's say they bring back the AC 130. They need to put in destructible environments. Why? Because it's not fair that this person, camped or whatever. They got 21 kills in a row or whatever, and they can't shoot that guy in a building with a missile. They have to they should cater the kill streaks to the maps. Now, with regards to his question about custom score streaks, I think it would be amazing. I actually am excited regarding the fact that they do co-op kill streaks now. But
Okay.
at the same time, what's stopping that random from jumping in your kill streak? They haven't really got into that yet, and I haven't got a response on that one either. So, but the next part of his question, and then I'm gonna let you take it. How far do you think you'll be able to go as far as customization? As far as the engine will allow it to go. If they really want to be successful with these games, they have to push not only the engine, they have to push the console. Because right now, Xbox One, PS4, to be honest with you, the games are good. There hasn't been something yet that I'm like, all right, I got to play this again. There isn't. There is. Infamous was good. The Last of Us Remastered was good. Titanfall was good. There has to be something that. Prime example. Okay, it's all right. There has to be something that, damn, I want to play this game, or hey, you ready to, like I'll text you and you'll be at work. Hey, when you get off, you ready to play this game? Like there has to be something like enticing me to want to play it. And as of right
Right.
now, there really isn't on either console. So that's just my 2 cents on that one. Take it away, James.
Okay, so customization. Wait, what was now I forgot the first part.
The
What was the
first
first
part of
one?
the question was
Oh,
what
the score streaks.
custom score streaks.
Customizing. Okay, that is probably from what I saw from the reveal. I'm excited about that. What I wish that they had was like I like that you can add things to a score streak, but I didn't see anything except for I think it was on one of the helicopters when they're flipping through it. You see something where like you could add like flares to it or something, which I think you should be able to like I don't know if you play Clash of Clans or not, but
I've
basically you get a
watched it
cannon.
before.
Okay, so you get a cannon, and then you can upgrade that cannon. That cannon then is more powerful, you know, and it takes longer for you to destroy it, whatnot. I think what would be cool with the score streaks is to, you know, like if you're gonna call in a helicopter, make it to where you can take and add on, you know what? Instead of it taking two missiles, it's gonna take a third missile now, or make it like the hit points to be higher for you to shoot that down. If I'm gonna call in, you know, like a dog. Make it to where you know he has more hit points. You know, I mean, not like the dog couldn't be more overpowered than Ghost. That's probably a bad example. But maybe you know, for example, the way it is now, it would be like half of the health, and then you could add a perk to it. Or maybe if you like almost how you level up your guns and your characters, level up your score streaks. When you call in 50 helicopters, then you know what? It now gets an extra flare, or you know it now doesn't show up on the radar, like something like that. Like
Right.
make it to where you got to try to upgrade so that this way, one, you're not using the same kill streaks all the time. You know, if I maxed out, let's just say my helicopter, and now I want to work on the AC-130 or something, you know, or whatever streak, I can try to level that up. It gives me another thing to do in the game,
Yeah,
and then it
like pro
also makes
streaks.
it, yeah, it makes it, you know, but then it also kind of rewards you, like, hey, you know, it's going to take four missiles to shoot this helicopter down because this guy has 2,000 kills, you know, with this
Yep.
helicopter or whatnot. I think you should be able to take and level that up. I think also with in regards to like the weapons, I think you should be able to level that stuff up. Your attachments, you know, maybe after you get so many kills with a gun, maybe you really don't need a grip because your accuracy goes up with it because you've been using it so much. I
Yep.
just think you should be able to customize, like you should be rewarded for, you know, obtaining a high kill streak, and now it's even more powerful.
Or even a
Going
high
back,
accuracy on a gun.
yeah, exactly. Like if you get so many headshots, that means basically you're proficient with this weapon. You should be able to get a slightly advantage over someone that picks it up for the first time, and you guys both have a gun. You got 5,000 kills with it. I have 5 kills with it, but we're pretty much on an equal playing field, minus the fact that, I mean, your ability is going to be better because you used it more, but
Right.
there's no actual benefit from the gun.
Agreed. Agreed.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Going back one quick thing when you were talking about like on jungle and you could just you know drop a helicopter and it would just destroy. I think that yes, if you call in a helicopter on an open map, it is going to take and do better than a map that's full of buildings. But also, if you're getting ready to play one of those maps, you should adjust it to say, okay, you know what? Hey, I'm playing Stonehaven. Someone's probably going to call in a helicopter. Maybe I should run Blind Eye.
Right.
Like, I don't get upset about somebody who calls in a helo pilot on Stonehaven and completely annihilates it when it's like, okay, well, you really went into Stonehaven without having Blind Eye on one of your classes? I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that, you know, it's kind of like, okay, you did it to yourself. It'd be just like going into, you know, strike zone with only, you know, a LMG. Well, I don't know. I guess those,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But
All right.
anyway, that's what was the second part, or
All
do you want
right.
to go on to next?
No, no. The second part of the question was how do you think you'll how far you think you'll be able to go with regarding
Oh, well,
as
I
far
can
as
answer that.
customization. How far you think you'll be able to go as far as customization?
I mean, I kind of answered that. Basically, I would love to see it to where like you could upgrade your weapon, you could upgrade your character, you could upgrade your like. I thought the pro perks like that was a perfect example. You did so much, you got that perk better. I think if you got so many kills or did got a score streak so many times, it became stronger. Like okay, look at the satcom. Let's say you call in 5,000 satcoms, and now instead of it lasting for 30 seconds, it lasts for 35 seconds, 40 seconds, and then you call in another 5,000 and lasts for another 5 seconds more. Just something that I think it's more to the game. It gives you more things to try to accomplish, and you get rewarded for doing it.
Right. All right. All right. Next
Next question.
question. All right. Next question comes from my buddy MCO the game. Do you think down the line all characters in COD would meet in a game with flashbacks and foreshadowing?
You talking about like the campaign?
Yeah, like, do you mean campaign, MC? Let me text him real quick.
I don't know how the other players would. He has to be talking about like campaign, like the storylines have to all come back. The game will end with all the storylines coming
Yeah.
back. They're meeting in a
All
room,
right. I'm gonna.
talking, and a nuke
I
drops.
text him anyway. But here's what I'm sending, just in case he doesn't get my text. Do you mean as far as campaign, or with them meeting up in multiplayer? Because in order for them to meet up in campaign, that would take a lot. That would take a lot because of the fact you have guys from the past, you have guys from the future, and then you have guys from like the future and beyond. So if that were to happen, I'm just gonna get an answer to your question. If that were to happen, that would take Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer to all merge into one and become COD Studios. That's the only way that would happen. They would all have to work together to make that perfect game. Now, in a realistic world, can it happen? Sure. Is it going to happen anytime soon? Especially the fact that Activision is the umbrella underneath them? Hell no. It's not.
The only way I could see that happening is if the actual Call of Duty franchise decides to say, you know what, we're gonna let Black Ops go make Black Ops when they want under
Yeah.
their name, and
Yeah.
we're gonna let Modern Warfare take and do it under their name, and the actual Call of Duty, is gonna be, it's not gonna if Black Ops 2 wants to release a game every year, then but
Right.
it would go completely against what they just did, going with a 3-year cycle.
Right.
Like it would be completely, so yeah, it probably wouldn't happen anytime soon, but the only time I would think, the only time, like if I was to bet on when that would happen, if it was to ever happen, would
Yeah.
be Call of Duty's done.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
this is
that
the
would.
final Call of Duty. They meet in a room and a nuke drops, and that's it. That's the end of Call of Duty.
All right. All right. Let me know, MC, if that answered your question. We're gonna go on to the next one because I'm trying to. COD Studios would make a clusterfuck COD just like MW3. All
Actually, I
right.
thought that was I like that one. I was
What?
actually
All right.
you should
Here we
write that
go.
down. That you should tweet that
What?
to
COD
timestamp
Studios?
that. Yeah, I think
All
you should
right.
tweet that.
We answered this question. All right. Next question is from Pete. Pete's really getting them in here, boy. I love it. Now that Advanced showed their multiplayer muscle, how does Halo 5 change the game? It doesn't. And here's why I say it doesn't. Halo Halo has their loyals. I mean, I could tell you one person off the top of my head, and you've played with him. Too drunk to think. John. He's been a Halo fan guy since Halo 1. And if you've developed that relationship with the game or the uh, the uh, the developer, the company, you're not going anywhere. You're sold. Like you're just like, oh boy, in Futurama, shut up and take my money. So do I think it's going to affect it? No. But however, I do think that the guys at 343 are paying attention. Do I think it's going to change their game? No. Not one bit. Based on the fact that they have that relationship with their fans, I don't think it's going to change the game, but however, I do think that they are paying attention. Let me know if that answered your question. But do I think it's going to change the game? No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Because people on Halo, they'll stick to Halo. That's their game. Like, I know people off the top of my head that they get the Halo Edition consoles because they are that committed. John is a perfect example. So let me know if that answered your question. You want to take a stab at that one there, James?
I don't know too much about Halo,
All
but
right.
I mean, besides the fact that I do know they have a strong, like, before I even got into gaming, when I heard, oh, this guy plays Halo or whatever, or just in general, I knew they had a strong following. Like people, I knew it was a big game. And I think you're completely right. It's just like if a new Halo came out, it's not going to take and really affect the Call of Duty because if you're a fan of Call of Duty, you're going to play the game regardless. And if you're a fan of Halo, you're going to play that game regardless. And maybe there's a few small percent of people that are kind of like, I just play whatever, or
Yeah.
but I don't think anybody that's a Call of Duty fan or a Halo fan is not going to buy that game because a new game came out, right?
All right. I agree with you on that one. From an outsider looking in, that's actually a really good response. All right, next question. Oh, well, comment for that matter. LOL, the dog and ghost was stronger than Zeus himself. All right, fair enough. Another thought on remaking old maps. We pay for new maps, and I don't want to pay for an old map. If it's an old, if it, I totally agree with you on that one. But if the overwhelming majority, so let's say you're in a room, let's say there's 7 people in a room, let's say 4 out of 7 want the remade map because of the fact the overwhelming majority voted for it or they requested it, it'll get done. But I definitely agree with you on that one. You shouldn't have to pay for an old map. But if it's on a new game and they introduce it as a new map and we know it's an old map, I guess that's one of those things where we have to bite the bullet on. All right, Otto's question. Which developer do you prefer and why? You want to take this one? Because everybody knows. They know my answer already. They know my answer. I don't even have to answer. They know who I want to work for. They know who I've been contacting with. So they already know my answer. I'll let you take this one first, James, if you don't mind.
All right, I was tweeting out
Okay.
something. What was the question?
Okay, the question is,
Bad host, bad host.
no, you're fine. The question from Autotech is, which developer do you prefer and why?
Ooh, let's see. Wow. I would say out of all the Call of Duty games well, I have to base it on Call of Duty because that's really the only game that I play. I would have to say Treyarch, uh, just because I've had more fun with, and I only played Black Ops 2. I didn't even play Black Ops 1. Um, I got the game actually like a couple weeks before Black Ops 2 came out just to play it because I thought it would give me an advantage, and then I really didn't play it that much. So I would have to say Treyarch just because I think his game, that was the
It's
most balanced game, even though the hit detection was horrible. Um, but I'm kind of a weird breed, I guess, because one, I still like Ghost,
yeah.
so I would say that Ghost was a good game, and then I loved Modern Warfare 3 as well. I don't know if I loved it more than Black Ops 2, but I liked Modern Warfare 3, so I don't know. I'm pretty open, but I would say if I had to pick one, I would say Treyarch.
All right.
Being the
Ish.
fact that you're still playing Black Ops 2, because just about every video is a commentary over a Black Ops 2 gameplay, I think I know which one you're going to pick.
All right. All right. Damn, Ish just gave me a shit ton of questions, so I'm gonna answer uh autos, and then we're gonna
Tweet,
go on to
tweet me a
Ish.
question, guys. I
Yeah,
want a
hey,
question.
tweet Gamers Lounge TV some questions as well, so that way he can answer them as well, because he's definitely he's knowledgeable enough with COD, but he's just not me, so there can only be one great one. Anyway, which developer do you prefer and why? It's You guys already know. I love Treyarch. I want to be the next Vandahar. I don't even give a shit if I lose my hair like him. I do want to be the next Vandahar, and I would love to be the one presenting the game. And here's why. Treyarch, yes, Treyarch is Treyarch. but I think they have a much more close knit family. Because, here's my thing with, all right, I liked certain aspects of COD 4. I really did. I liked certain aspects of MW2. Now, the reason why I feel I enjoy Treyarch more, Orlando, I'm probably going to have to blame you on this one, Mr. MCO. And the reason why I think Treyarch holds more near and dear to me, this was when I was working at Best Buy, and me and him, sorry, I'm just responding. I was, getting rehired, and we were in the meeting room together. So we just started talking, and we started talking about, multiplayer games, and he was talking about Halo and Black Ops. Now, mind you, Black Ops 1 was the first game that I've ever played the multiplayer on. I'd always get the campaign. And mind you, I have every other COD. I have every single COD. Never played the multiplayer. Black Ops 1 was the first. So, with that being said, I think that's the one that holds near and dear to my heart because that was the first one I
Wait,
got
you
to.
never played Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer?
Nope. I played Black Ops 1 first,
You're
and
telling me
then,
you don't.
wait, let me finish. I played Black Ops 1 first, and then I went back and played all the others.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I played COD 4, I played
If you
COD
have
3,
not,
I
if you have
played
not experienced
MW2.
Rust,
No. Rust,
then
fuck,
there's
dude, Rust was quickscoping. That's all you could do in that map was quickscoping. That shit was a nightmare.
no.
But
It was one man army throw a
yeah, one
grenade
man
everywhere.
army. Yeah, well, every time I jumped on MW2 on Rust, it was always a quickscoping lobby. But let me know, Otto, if that answered your question. All right.
That's because you could climb up about 3, 4 stories. So instead of getting like 720, you could get like 4,080s. You know, on your way down.
All right. Well, Ish has another question. I understand that a lot of grenades can be manually detonated. Do you see this as being equally or even more OP than a Black Ops 2 C4? Damn, that's a good question. I'm loving these questions tonight. Like,
Well, the one. Okay, when I
you're
see
gonna
the
take this
whole
one? Okay.
this, well, I'll start it off. The
Okay.
thing with the grenades that I'm a little bit worried about is you no longer throw them. They come shooting out of some arm rocket thing. Um, which for me, it's like, okay, you used to be able, like, you would throw a grenade, you could hold it for a certain period of time, and then you could throw it. Now, I mean, the good thing is, I've half the time that I'm sitting there trying to cook a grenade, I usually get shot. So I kind of like that I can just shoot the grenade out and then just keep going on, with my day.
Right.
Um, do I think now there's going to be more of them? And the fact that Danger Close is still in the freaking game, um,
Yep.
I
I was
think it's going
I
to
was waiting for
be.
it.
I think more people now are going to be using grenades because now it's if there's no time delay because from the video it looked like he just like shot something out of his arm
It was
and it was like
seamless.
yeah,
Very seamless.
and if that's the case then everybody's going to be rocking grenades I think. But
Now, all right. Now what? Now, all right. And you know what? When I got my hands on it, it was OP as shit. Hands down. Hands down.
the grenade out of the forearm
Yes.
thing.
Yes. Straight multi kill with it. Shit you not.
Yeah, I mean that's
It was that
that's.
OP.
I
So
mean it's
I'm
bad enough you have a
because
noob tube. Now you're gonna have this.
because I had it with Danger Close. And is it gonna get nerfed? Oh fuck yeah. It's gonna be, I guarantee you, it has already gotten nerfed since the build. Like what they showed on Twitch earlier today, you could clearly see that it was nerfed. Because it took two, like the way it shot out. It had to be two in the same vicinity to kill you, or 2 to 3, something like that. Like the way they did it, they
Okay.
balanced it out. Now with Danger, see the thing is though, I couldn't tell if the character who was playing or the guy who was playing had Danger Close on. So I don't know how far of a nerf have they
Can I
gone with it.
rant on Danger Close?
Hmm?
Can I rant on Danger Close for a second? Because
Yeah.
I do not understand two things. Why in the hell is there noob tubes? And why in the hell is there danger close? The only time
Let me know
I've
if I answered
ever
your
put
question,
on
Ish. Go ahead.
the only time I've ever put on a noob tube in danger close is because I'm pissed off because somebody's tubing me and I put that on. I never say, you know what? I'm going to put a grenade launcher on with danger close because it's going to help me strategically do this. It's always been like, haha, I'm going to piss off some people.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
troll.
like,
It's like legally
yeah,
trolling.
let, let me take a noob tube, let me strap an RPG to my back, and run around with
Yeah.
grenades and that's the only time. Like it's never been like a strategic thing. Why do you think it's not allowed in competitive?
It's
It's
OP as shit. That's why.
if you want to have make a map, make dome and let them noob tube each other. Fine. If it's a map where it's like in a tube friendly map, then fine. Go tube each other till your buttholes hurt. But if it's like you know just like an option that you can play on every single map,
Yeah.
that's what makes it a problem. And there's no strategic reason of why. The only thing it does is piss people off. That's all it does. That's it. All right, that's my rant
All
on
right.
Danger Close.
Auto has another question. Speaking of Halo, since we were talking about Halo earlier, do you think some of the Halo fan base will come over to COD because of the way Advanced Warfare seems it will play like? This one,
Ooh,
I'm gonna take a first stab on this one.
go ahead, go ahead.
It's gonna be an influence, but I don't think it's gonna be that of a big influence unless somebody from the Halo community says so. And here's why I say that. If you guys remember a few years back, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, it was a game. It was like a mobile game, or like, for instance, Flappy Birds. Perfect example. Flappy Birds on an iPhone. Flappy Birds has been around for so long, and nobody knew about it. Nobody, there was no word of mouth. It didn't go viral or whatever. It went viral after one person that was quote unquote famous made a tweet about it. The
Well,
shit went
exactly
viral.
the same thing about Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft, another example. So, do I feel that some of the Halo fan base will come over? Yes and no. Like, let's say if my buddy James is a Halo player and I'm not. So let's say I play COD all day and he recommends me because this is gonna happen. Hey Angel, you know what? I know you don't play this kind of game, but you know what? Try it out. I think you might like it because it has some of the features that you like in your game. And with me, it may either be hit or miss. I either may say, okay, this game is awesome, I like it, or you know what, fuck that, it sucks. So do I think it will affect some of them? I think some of them will try to be curious to see what the hype is, because right now there is a lot of hype, and the fact that they're streaming it, it's gaining a lot of publicity. Literally today, there was like 30,000 people in that one stream. And you know what? Thankful to them, I guarantee they probably had every dedicated server in that stream because the stream didn't crash, not once. But let me know if that answered your question there, Otto. You want to take a stab at this one there, homie?
No, I mean, I think people are going to be if they're a fan of a game, they're gonna they're gonna play the game regardless. I don't think I think they may play the. I mean, we kind of touched on it before. I think they may
Right.
try out the other game, but they're not going to stop playing the game that they're already a fan of. I don't really see a bunch of people, you know, taking in and saying, you know
Exactly.
what, I'm no longer going to play this. I'm only going to now I'm a Halo fanboy, or now I don't see that happening. So I think you're going to still have your Halo group. You're still going to have your COD group. You're still going to have your Titanfall group, and I think the numbers are going to be pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure the Halo. Now it's been a while though since Halo's come out, right? 'Cause I don't really follow.
Yeah, Halo. Last time Halo came out was Halo 4, and I want to say that was maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. So yeah, they're due. They're due for Halo.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be more excitement on that, but I think if every year Halo was putting out a game and every year Call of Duty is putting out a game, I think the numbers would be pretty much would stay the same. I don't see like one game's going down, by half, and the other game going up, 50% higher than what it normally does. I don't see like that big of a transition. All right, what's the next question?
All right. Hold on. All right. So Otto said we answered it. Sweet. You're welcome, Otto. All right. Next question. Well, Ish has a few questions, so I'm gonna try to see if I can spread these bad boys out. All right. I knew my question would go on the. Will there be a specialist streak loadout? And what about support streaks? From what I got a chance to do, everything was just a big mosh right now, so they didn't really have everything split up. So right now that's TBD. Support streaks, they had VSAT in there, so I'm pretty sure they'll unlock more stuff. But the build that I got a chance to get my hands on was very like minimum, like it was really minimum. So the next question, I want to try to see if I can run through his because he gave me like 4 questions. So let's see if we can. Will all the maps in Advanced Warfare have dynamic elements and map-specific score streaks? As of right now, it looks like they have map-specific score streaks or like co-op streaks. Like from what I got my hands on and from what I've seen as well, not every map had a co-op streak. But you know what? That can always change.
What do
So
you think about that?
what do I think about what map-specific score streaks or dynamic
Yeah.
elements?
The
The maps, both. All right. I'll answer both. Map specific score streaks is nice, but here's the problem. Unless they truly, truly, and I stress this word so much, unless they truly have an algorithm that really randomizes the maps, you're fucked. Because you notice when you first get a game, oh, hey, you get all the maps. You get to play all the maps. For like a solid month, you get to enjoy every map. The moment they introduce that first update, I think it becomes regional because there's times where if I'm host, I'll never get a certain map. And if I'm playing with the guys up in New York, or if I'm playing with like JD who's in Indiana or people in California, we'll have a whole different playlist of maps. So,
yeah.
I really do think that that's regional as far as now regarding future DLC with regarding to dynamic elements and map specific score streaks, that would be wise for them to do it. Reason being, if you can sell that really well, people will buy it. Hey, guess what? If you get these maps, you can get this kill streak back, or if you can, get this or that, that would be a good selling point. Because let's face it, DLC lately hasn't lived up to the it hasn't lived up to the hype. Because, and here's why I stress it hasn't lived up to the hype. Yes, Ghost is right now still the platform COD. Why are they still releasing microtransactions for Black Ops 2? What does that tell you? Your game sucked that bad that the previous one, they felt like they had to give them something because they noticed that more people are playing it. That
Yeah.
right there should tell you that the game itself is unfortunately not that fun because it's not unplayable. You can play it. Now, whether or not you have fun is a whole other discussion. But the game is playable. Now, for them doing that, if they weren't to do that on DLC, that would be dumb. Because that's a good selling point. For me, that's supplementing microtransactions. Because you notice when they did it for Ghost as well, like even Ghost, perfect example, the Maverick. The Maverick was supposed to come out with the map pack. They released the Maverick early because Titanfall was on its way. So, they got scared. They really did get scared. Hey, we'll give you this now to keep you here and don't go play that game.
Right.
So, if they were to do that for future DLC, that would be smart. All
I
right,
think.
the next
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. And then
No,
I'll
I was just
we'll
gonna
ask the
say
last
that
question.
the dynamic features of the map, like I was thinking more of like interactive features like the water or, things like that. I think it adds a new element to it. I don't know if the problem I have with the score streaks, the map specific score streaks, is if they're gonna do like a certain kill streak, then I think it needs to be earned. Not just like, hey, I teabagged some guy and now I changed the entire map. Like I think it should be something where the team has to earn it. So,
Yeah, the
you know,
skill in the box has to go away because that KEM in the fucking thing shouldn't have happened.
yeah, That's ridiculous. I mean, now if it's something like, hey, the first person to get, not like a game-ending kill streak, but I think it should be like, if you're playing domination, the first team that gets to, 100 or whatever, then gets this, releases something that blows up the map. Or if you go so long holding a certain flag, or just something to make it more that requires skill versus just teabagging some guy, because you could have the worst player on the game and next thing you know he just changed the entire map, or not even that. That doesn't, I mean, it kills people, but like releasing aliens, or now this player
Turns
just
into
hopped into the lobby,
he turns
got
into
a
El
field goal,
Mariachi. Yeah.
and now he's Predator, and he's been in the game 30 seconds, but he, spawned and there was a guy in front of him, he got his, shot him or whatever, and now he's Predator. Like, I think they need to be earned if they're going to be something game changing like that. All right, next question.
All right, the next question from Otto or Bute, Ish. All right. You know what, Ish? I'm gonna answer this one. I'm gonna one-on-one you this question. All right, the next question is from him. Okay, swimming. Does that mean you could jump halfway out the map and swim around to the other side, or is it map specific? As of right now, there was only one map that you could swim on, or that they allowed us to swim on for that matter, and that was that San Francisco map. So, you
Now, the
could
purpose of swimming is
the
what?
the
Can I
purpose of
shoot somebody
swimming.
underwater?
See, that's just it. They didn't show it in the multiplayer the
Reveal.
reveal, and it wasn't in my build either that you can shoot while swimming. You could swim, but you can shoot while swimming. So I don't really see the purpose of swimming if you can't defend yourself. Now I'm hoping that for the final game that gets implemented, because it may. Enough people probably saying, you know what, damn, why can't you shoot and swim? Like Battlefield allows it, and Battlefield are doing this for like ages. So to me, the swimming is going to be irrelevant if you can't defend yourself.
I see one benefit to being able to swim.
And as of right now, it's map specific. So, well, at least from what I got a chance to play, but who knows? They're going to be revealing more stuff day in and day out. So we'll get our answers. We'll get our questions answered.
If they have more maps with water, I think it could provide a new, like, let's say there's a spot where you can actually duck down into the water. And let's
Yeah.
say you're being shot at and you could duck down and swim away,
Mhm.
and that person wouldn't be able to see which direction you're actually swimming towards.
Yeah.
Or, for example, if you want to get to a certain area of the map, instead of running in plain view, maybe I can go underwater and cross a river and get behind a tree or something and come up from a different direction and actually be able to use it. Um, if I can't shoot, I'm okay with that, because, I mean, really, are you going to be able to be swimming through the water and then pull out your pistol, keep your legs paddling, and still be able to shoot? Plus, when you open your eyes, are you really going to be able to see through the water, be able to hit somebody?
But like
So I think
underwater, yeah, underwater is one thing. But like, let's say if you jump in the water, then they should allow you to at least pull out a pistol, at least something to defend yourself. Because in that case, if I can't defend myself in the water, then I'm not going to that side of the map.
but if nobody can shoot while they're under the water, then you wouldn't really need the pistol. That
Right,
you'd be using it to either duck down and hide,
right,
or swim away from gunfire, or to move to a different position of the map
right.
where the enemy
Yeah, so
can't
that
see.
way, you can like try to flank or something. But if you can't, if you can't defend yourself, like at least like let's say I fall in the water, like I jump in the water. Now within those first few seconds, I should be at least allowed to defend myself if I have the option. You know, because it doesn't
I
make
think
any.
it'd be more like when you fall into the water, you would disappear.
Yeah.
Like if you're on a cave or something, I
Right.
don't think you should be able to see the person. Like your name, your gamer
Right.
tag shouldn't pop up above your name. It should be like, if hey, you want to blank fire into the wall, into the water, and try to get a hit marker, fine. But when I go into water, you're not gonna be able to see
See,
me. You're gonna
see,
have no
see.
idea which
Au-
direction I'm going.
Auto brought up a good point, and I'm glad he did because that was just coming up to that. He said the only thing I can see swimming useful is a surprise attack and boost jump out of the water and shoot somebody. I saw that in the trailer. I was just gonna bring that up. You know what? That would actually be smart. But let's say if you're on a map where, let's say they make a map where in order for you to get across, like let's say, okay, there's a map, there's two lands of mass, and then there's a bridge. In order for you to get past it, let's say you can blow up that bridge. Now, if you blow up said bridge and you need to traverse through the water, then they should allow you to at least be able to defend yourself with a gun or allow you to do like the double, because you can double jump and you can do a boost dash. And realistically,
Right.
that would give you enough distance to be able to traverse out the map.
I think it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate the water, like or the swimming feature, into the game, and I think if they do it right, they can make it, a neat little,
Right.
just another strategic option that you could make it, well, should we check the river to make sure that nobody's swimming through it? Or, I can't just now watch the bridge. I also have to watch, this side, and I have to make sure no one's going to jump out of the water, which, like, could really happen.
Right.
SEALs do it all the time. Navy SEALs, they'll go underwater and then they just, like, well, what was it? What was that movie where the guy's sitting on the dock and he just lifts up and the sniper shoots him and he just lowers him down into the water?
Yeah. You have a question, by the way, so when you're done here, you might want to check out that question.
I do.
Yeah. Otto tweeted you a question, which
No,
is
he
actually,
didn't.
yeah, he did. I retweeted it.
I got to retweet.
He asked
Oh,
you,
okay, yeah. All I saw was the
yeah.
notice that you retweeted something. Okay, so coming from Autotech, this guy he's a big fan, huh?
Otto's one of my clan
Um,
members, so he's good people's.
oh, cool. What's up, Otto? Since you have seen multiplayer and trailer, do you think quick scoping will be an issue? Well, I don't quick scope at all. I don't snipe at all. So I won't be doing it. But I think they said that it's going to be a lot more challenging to, as far as I think the aim down sights is going to be an issue, but this whole boost jump thing is going to make. They were saying that it's going to make for some really epic, montages and things like that. But I think a lot of it will never even be recorded because there's no theater mode. I think the reason why there was so much like crazy montages in like Black Ops 2 was because if you did, get some crazy kill or something really
Speed,
funny
yeah.
happened, you could just go back and record it. But I mean, just imagine the millions of crazy clips and streaks and things that have happened in the games that just go unseen because you can't. There's no way to. It happened, but I wasn't recording. And especially now because PS4 got rid of the feature to go back and be able to record 15 minutes. Like you can't do it now. So
Oh, wow.
the, the only thing you can do is tell it when to start. But if before that was the whole thing, it had a longer record time than Xbox. So you could record it was like 10 or 15 minutes, and you would hit a button almost like the Elgato, and it would just do a window of there to the last 15 minutes, and bam, that was the clip. And the reason why I
Right.
found that out was because I got into a hacked lobby, and I was trying to go back to the beginning of the game, and you can't do it anymore. The feature is completely removed out of the menu. You don't even have an option to set it. The only thing you can do now is say, start recording now. So I mean, there's always going to be quick scopers in Call of Duty. There's always going to be campers, and there's always going to be noob tubers. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah. Unless they remove some of those things. Like if they removed NoobTube from the game, oh, forget it. Then they would have to put in like they would have to put a thumper in, or they would have to find some way to get it in there. I'm done hogging the questions for this one. Ish, no, it's good, dude. If you have a question, feel free to ask. I mean, between you and Otto, Otto just put, hence why I love my Elgato. Yes, capture card is the way
Yeah.
to go. External capture
Yeah.
card,
But
regardless
you
of
have
the
to have a
system.
computer that's working.
Yeah, yeah. Unlike someone I know who has a beast-ass computer. All right. Let me know if. Well, let him know, Otto, if
What do
that
you think
answered your
about
question.
quickscoping?
What do I think about quickscoping from the video alone?
Yeah.
It's gonna get nerfed. That guy did a boost jump, quickscope someone, dead center, and he nailed him. You know what? But at the same time, I like that they implemented a bullet trail. If you remember the trailer, The guy jumps, he shoots him, and this is on that San Francisco map. I forgot the name of it. You actually see the bullet trail. Like, you see how far it goes.
Mm.
And you know what? They need to implement realism like that. If you shoot a bullet, a rifle, high-powered rifle, you're gonna see where the bullet goes off. Even if you have the cheapest scope, you're gonna be able to see that. They should influence that so that way you can actually see if whether or not the bullet hit the target. That's why
Right.
bullet trail should be in the game, and I'm glad that they did that. Now, do I feel that quick scoping is gonna be a pain? Maybe not, and here's why. The boost jump. You can hover, you can boost jump, and you could boost dash. So if you run the right perks, which I'm hoping that lightweight is not overpowered because we saw lightweight in there, you can get the hell out of dodge if somebody's quick scoping you in enough time. Now, whether or not you survive it, it's one thing, because if they do quick scoping correctly, it should be, waist up, one hit kill, depending on the gun and depending what the attachment is. Now, if they do chest up, it should be one hit kill. Like, that's realistic enough. Unless you hit him like in the shoulder, where they start
But
implementing.
how can you have the word quick scoping and realistic in the same sentence? Because
Because quick
there,
scoping, remember, quick scoping is something that's broken in the game. You can quick scope somebody, but where the bullet goes will be the determining factor. So they would have the connection would be key for this. The connection would have to be, honestly, it would have to be like Ghost, because Ghost had really good hit detection. The connection was good and the hit detection was good. The hit detection would have to be like that and or better, because a lot of people fail to realize when Black Ops 2 was the guinea pig for Ghost, and this was when right before Ghost came out, they were testing the servers. That was by far the best experience I've had on Black Ops 2. Hit detection was spot on. The moment the dedicated servers went away, that's when I knew, okay, time to get off this because it's going to be shit again.
okay. Well, I got a question.
Okay.
What do you think about uh, the whole get rid of your score streaks, get more perks, and the ability to have four score streaks? Less perks, but you get four instead of three.
What do I think about that? The
Yeah.
four score streaks?
Having four instead of the traditional three. It's never been done where you can have four. You think a lot of people are going to do that,
I
or do you
think,
think?
okay, I think they're going to do it just to be curious, but at the same time, I don't think they're. I see. Here's the thing: if they want to keep the game balanced, because they've been really talking about balance, 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 balance. Come here, you, Gimpy. Come here, you. Where are you? Come here. All right. Anyway, if they want to keep the game balanced, they can put like a limit on there as to far as what the streaks are. But I don't think they'll go that route. I think if they're gonna give it you four, I think they're gonna give you whatever four if you want. Now, the
Well, I think they're going
question,
to each have they're more points though.
right? See, here's the thing. What, like, are they gonna do it the way like they did it with Black Ops 2, or like with Ghost, to where you can cycle through the streaks, or is it gonna be the last streak, the one you get is the one you're gonna use first? Because they didn't really, they
Oh,
got
like
it.
is it
Yeah,
repetitive?
yeah. Like, you know how like if I have 357, okay, let's say I get a multi kill. Okay, I get six people. Then my third, my first streak, I really
It's
can't do
least
nothing. I can't do nothing with. So I'm hoping that they find balance with it. But as far as the four, I'm looking forward to that because of the fact that, like you said, one, it's never been done, and two, it's something. It's like it's mind blowing. Like, holy shit, another streak. Like,
I think it's going to help a lot of people. I mean, we don't know what the streaks are, but I think it's going to help a lot of people get to some of those higher streaks.
check your Twitter when you
Because
get a chance. Otto has another question for you. Sorry.
okay,
Keep talking. Keep talking.
send it to me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he just put he answered it, but did he see my other question? So
Um, I
oh,
think it's going to help
okay,
people. I think it's going to help people get to the higher streaks because they can have, like something in the 3 or 4 kill range, or equate to points, and then like
right.
a 3-5 or like a 5-7-9, but then also like a 13 or 14 now. Where before they may, if they wanted that 14, like they did a 7-9-14 or 7-9-12. Let's just say 7-9-12. But if they couldn't get to the 7, then they didn't really get the 12. Where here, if they can get to a 5, it's a lot easier to get to 5 kills, especially if you're running hardline, you're talking 4 kills, and
Yeah,
then it just gives you like a smaller build to let the kill streaks kind of build up to each other, and you got 3 kill streaks helping you get to a bigger kill streak. I
right.
think that's going to take and have it to where a lot more people are going to be getting, helos or AC 130s or the bigger streaks, which I think is good, as long as they're not too overpowered. And if they don't have a freaking launcher to take down a helicopter, I'm going to shoot myself.
If that's the case, like let's say, all right,
Please put a lock-on launcher back in the game.
let let's
Even put the javelin back in there because
let's say
annoying as that was, it was a lot of fun though too.
let's say hypothetically speaking, I haven't had a chance to play it. What I would do if I were playing it, like let's say they don't give you a launcher, but however they give you something along the lines like air superiority again, I would run that. I would make that like that would have to be in my class. Like I would make that
Yeah,
one of my loadout just
but
to
here's the thing.
ensure.
That means one, you have to run support. Two, it takes forever. Like you don't have an like
Because it's a
if
high
somebody
streak.
calls in it,
Yeah.
it's a high streak and it only works once. Where if you're gonna have helicopters and you're gonna have air support, you need a launcher. Because if I'm running assault and then all of a sudden somebody calls in, a helicopter and a helo pilot, I
Yeah.
got to switch over to support. I got to get 12 kills before by then the helicopter's gone.
Yep. And the match is damn near over because usually by the time they get those streaks, it's usually on its way
Exactly.
out.
And I don't want to run support every game just to make sure that I have air superiority. I should be able to just take out a launcher like every Call of Duty, and I mean, you need something to shoot the things out of the sky.
Yeah, I agree, Otto. Otto says don't need 4 streaks. He said he'll personally give up score streaks for perks, and he loved the javelin. You know what? I'll agree with you on
Yeah,
that
the
one.
javelin was
The
awesome.
javelin was.
But see, I think more people are going to be doing that because from what I don't remember, I want to say it was only like 2 slots. So you think, okay, 2 slots, I have to give up 2 perks. Is that 2 perks going to get as many kills as like a sentry gun?
See, that's just
Uh,
it. You'll have to find out.
I think more. I think that I would bet more on the sentry gun. I would like give up maybe the 2 perks and have that fourth streak. I mean, depending on how much it's going to cost. But I
Yeah.
also think too that the fourth one was like a wild card. I don't think you got to actually pick what that fourth one was.
You think it was like
So
random?
right, like I'm not going to give up, marathon or steady aim or something like that for, a UAV, but, maybe they're going to, well, I don't know, we'll have to see. If I can pick the score streaks and if the score streaks are good and there's a fourth one that I really want, you know, then
Yeah.
maybe I'll do it. But I would think like if I was to pick from like Ghost, if I could give up 2 points and get a fourth kill streak, I would do that in Ghost based on what they have there.
Yep. All right. Did you find Otto's other question?
No, I don't have anything. He sent it to the.
Otto, if you have if you have that question, just send it to him again.
Oh,
Depends
here.
on placement of score streak for benefit. Yes, see that's what I said. Depends on where you place it. All right, we have another question from
Oh, I got a question too.
all right. Well, I'll do one of mine because this guy's been waiting for a while,
Okay.
and then we'll any opinions on the shotgun balance? They have that TAC 19 energy shotgun. Talking about the heat gun or whatever. No, heat gun was the LMG. The
Oh yeah, it was
yeah,
that
he's
shotgun
gone.
that it
Yeah,
almost had like this sight of like it reminded me of the
yeah,
Vepr.
right.
It had that small little iron sight.
Uh, if you well, here's my opinion on it, but Drifter did nail it. It was spot on as far as hit detection. It wasn't OP, but at the same time, from the waist up, yeah, your ass was dead. So, it's gonna get nerfed. It's gonna get adjusted here and there, but from what I experienced and from what we've saw on the multiplayer reveal and from the stream today, the shotgun was probably one of the most closest out of all, the genre of weaponry that was balanced. Because this game, to me, honestly, it looks like it's going to be an AR game, which is something we haven't had in a while. Because even with Ghosts,
Well, Ghost is an A. There's way more.
but the
Black Ops
map. See,
2,
the thing is,
everybody
they made so many hybrid guns though. Because the Maverick, the sniper version wasn't that bad. The AR version, I didn't really care for so much. But what was the other gun that they provided? I forgot the fucking gun.
the Ripper.
The Ripper.
The
The
Ripper
Ripper. The
is
Ripper
a
was
good gun.
the Ripper was a good gun, and it was a good gun without attachments.
Yeah.
That's how you know if a gun is good. So as far as right now with the shotguns were balanced. Do I think that they're gonna have some nerfs? They might, and here's why. You're gonna have those people that really don't handle CQC that well. They're gonna complain, and they're gonna complain, and they're gonna complain. Oh my God, it's so overpowered. You have to nerf it. Rah, rah. And it's going to happen. So you know what? Expect some patches like probably day one. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a huge patch that day to make sure all the weapons are as balanced as, the critiques call for. Yes, Otto,
Okay.
you send it to the right place. All right, your thoughts on
Okay, I got a question from. Well, actually, I have a comment from. His name is that black guy 555.
Yeah, he's been hitting me up on here. He's really cool.
So he said the Moz was a lock on in Ghost, and it was, but the problem is it was the same thing. It was a score streak. So by the time you were to earn a Moz, you'd have to one die from the loadout you're in, get I think it's 9 kills, and by then the helicopter's gone. Um, okay. Uh, oh, it's the same one. You just answered it. The TAC 19 energy shotgun.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same one. Oh wait, hold on, someone. Yeah, I think the energy weapons. I really like the idea of them not having to reload because I don't know what it is, but the second I go to reload, that's when 4 people come out and just happen to be staring down sights at me, um, which is frustrating. So to not have to reload and just let it cool down, I can still kind of be aimed down sights, and I think it's a neat little feature. I think they're gonna make it to the point where it's not OP and it's gonna be a crutch. Like the energy, it's either gonna have to take a long time to cool down, or the gun's not gonna have a lot of damage. And I don't know how many people will use it, but I think it'll be like the chainsaw of Ghost. That's exactly what I think it's gonna be like. It's a neat gun. Does it work in every situation? Not really.
Talking about the saw?
And
The saw?
the, the chainsaw that's in the
Yeah.
one that the hip fire LMG,
Yeah.
it's neat, and I think that's the way this is going to be. It's neat. It doesn't have to reload, but I mean, think about it. Let's just say you had a Remington that never had to reload. It just had an unlimited number of bullets. Everybody would use it. I mean, then it's like, okay, so that means you don't have to run sleight of hand. That means you don't have to run extended mags. Like, what kind of attachments are you going to put on this thing?
Exactly. See, that's
So,
another thing that they didn't really mention. They didn't really mention like how many attachments you could put on a gun. I mean, see, when I took my notes, and I'm just gonna bring up these three things because these are the three things that I thought that was it was wise on their part. And the reason why I say it was wise is because they paid attention to what happened with Ghosts as far as their multiplayer reveal. Your thoughts on this? The fact that they didn't mention theater mode So I'm pretty much, they pretty much confirmed after, I took my
Yeah, there,
notes
there,
that
there is no
they're
date
done.
on.
Right. They didn't mention that it's on a new engine. Your
They did
thoughts
it.
on that? No, they
I
didn't mention it.
I thought they
Michael
said
Condrey and Glenn Schofield, whatever his name is, they did not mention new engine.
I thought they said something like this is the first one on the 3 year cycle. The first. Yeah, they did. They
They
did.
mentioned
You're
the
right.
first COD on a 3-year cycle. However, they didn't mention that what engine it was on.
True. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Next thought. So you said he had three.
All right, the third one was they didn't mention dedicated servers. They never mentioned connectivity, and you know what? That was smart. You know what's another thing they didn't mention that Otto was talking about that I really like? I didn't even take notice when I was, when I played it and whatnot. Player card. I didn't even bother to, honestly, I didn't even think about that.
What do you mean player card late?
You know how like with Black Ops 2 you can create a player card? I didn't
Oh,
they never mentioned that, and two, I didn't even bother to take notice because I was so busy with class to where I played it, gave my critique, played a little more, gave my critique, and was like, all right, I'm done.
I think with the whole customization thing, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they're gonna incorporate that. I really, really hope they incorporate the clan tags into the gun. Speaking of clans, they did mention that Clan Wars will be coming, back,
I know,
which
I'm not. They should have.
I, I'm I'm excited about it. I just hope that they improve it.
Did
I don't
they?
want them to be 5 days long.
Yeah.
As
Did they mention what the hell that they were bringing back the old app? I remember hearing something about that. I don't know whether or not that was true.
well, they're saying that Beachhead Studios is still going to be handling the app. So I don't know if
Okay.
it's going to be a brand new app. I'm sure it's probably going to be the same app.
Like
Um,
Ghosts, like the Ghost app.
that's what I would think. But I'm sure that there's going to be some improvements. One thing that nobody's really touching on from anywhere that I've seen, and it just kind of when I was watching it, it made me think of this. The maps look big,
The maps do
and
look big, but the
I
fact that you have the
know
jumping now, you could traverse all
you
around
have
the map.
you have the jumping, but like I don't know because so the number one complaint when Ghost first came out was the maps are too big. And from what I saw, like I forget, it's not the reveal, but the one where it's like a maybe a 5 or 8 minute video of the guy actually running around playing a real multiplayer game,
Right.
um, and it just kind of bounces between the two, a couple different maps. They
Yeah.
all look big, and the gameplay was, I mean, they were showing obviously like clips of it being action paced, but there was some times where it looked like
It had a dead zone.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what I was thinking. It's like, man, when you watch the, the player, the trailers for the different games, or even if just you played the different games, I mean, if you went 15 seconds in Black Ops 2 without seeing somebody, there was an issue. So I'm concerned about the maps being so big. I know the whole jump boost thing is going to help with that, but that's one thing that I'm a little
Yeah.
hesitant about. One thing I do like was the firing range testing.
Yeah, the
I
virtual
think
range.
that
That was.
I think that is very cool because I think it'll get people to play a lot more of different weapons without
Hmm.
having to go into a private match, wait for the game to load, and then have to end the game, wait for it to show the score. I mean, a private match it takes a while just to go in and out, spend 30 seconds and get back. That's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where if I'm going through an assault rifle and I see, oh, okay, these are the stats, I can just click a button, shoot some targets, and kind of play with different attachments and bounce back out. I mean, they made it seem like you could do this in a lobby before next match starts.
See, it's
So,
funny. It's funny you mention that because I have a friend and he plays some of these games like professionally. Like he played CS:GO professionally, and he handed me this site, and the site was called Symthic.com. SYM as in Mary, THIC.com. And what they do is they break down weapon stats, the way the bullet trail is. what attachments, if the gun's gonna veer left, right, up, down, whatever. Now with this virtual range, there's no need for sights like that anymore. You
Yeah.
don't need somebody to do the breakdown for you. You can go in there, hop in a lobby. Hey, you know what? If I shoot this gun, if I hold it straight down, it's going to go up and to the right. So I know I need to either aim that way first, or preemptive aim that way, or just kind of tap the trigger a little bit, not just hold it down full auto. So I think that's actually really smart that they did that. But here's
Well, and
another
here's
thing,
here's
though.
here's the problem with those sites, though. I mean, there's lots of different. There's apps that you can get that show you
Yeah,
that and show you. The problem is when you're like in a lobby and you're like, you know what? I want to try out this marksman rifle. But what
yeah,
does the iron sights look like? Oh wait, I'm not gonna have time to go look up online, pull up an app on my phone.
right.
If I can just select that weapon real quick and aim
And
down
go
sight,
to it.
you're
Yeah,
talking 5 seconds. I got an idea if I want to use it or not. I can back out and or I can just close
Ch-
that
or
screen or
change your
whatever
class.
and,
Yeah,
and go right into and just stay in the lobby. I don't have to leave the game to go do that. All
right.
right. What else? You were gonna say something else? I interrupted.
See, no, 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 you're fine. What I didn't get was, okay, they want us to, they're really pushing this virtual firing range. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, because they didn't mention connectivity, how much time am I truly going to have in this virtual lobby? Like, let's say,
They're,
okay, I'm
they're
in
making it.
class, I'm doing it, because remember, they never mentioned connectivity, so we don't know if it's going to be hybrid servers, we don't know if it's going to be dedicated servers, we don't know if it's going to be back to P2P. So like, I don't, there was a lot of questions left unanswered, and even at that Q&A that they did today, a lot of those questions that were asked weren't answered. So it's one of those, you kind of drew the short straw, and you have to wait until you get the game to see whether or not if that is the case. And
I
I
think it's
don't
gonna
like
be like a
questions like that.
pre-game lobby. I think it's gonna be like quick. Like when you're selecting assault rifle, you hover over it, you hit like triangle or circle or whatever
And
for the Xbox, and it
right,
just kind of pops up, and you're 4 or 5 seconds kind of shoot, then you back out, and then if you want to take and change it from a thermal to a red dot, and then go back into it. I think because they're making it seem like you're gonna be able to test it out while waiting for a
agreed.
pre-game lobby.
Agreed. That black guy 555 just he brought up a good point, and I'm glad he did because I kind of forgot about it. The way they're doing this loot system, it's just like the battle packs in Battlefield.
When they were talking about the whole loot thing, all I could think about was Battlefield Hardline. Oh, get the loot. Like,
Yeah, like
that's
from the
I
from
don't
the
I almost don't
beta,
like the word that they're using. I don't like that they're
the
using the word
loot.
loot.
Well, they can't use the battle pack because that's patented by Battlefield. But he brought up a point. He said, this is what he stated. He said, the loot system looks like it could give an unfair advantage. More loot equals more gun parts to use. I agree with you on that one, but at the same time, I think, well, I'm hoping that they've thought about this, knowing that since they were so adamant about advertising this 3-year cycle, let's hope that they've taken that into account, so that way if let's say if we're playing together and you get it, and I'm using it, it won't have the same damage because of the fact A, I'm either not the same rank, or B, I haven't unlocked it yet. So, let's hope that they've thought about that, because that's definitely going to be like, let's say you're a 55 and I'm a level 5.
Right?
The damage of the gun that you put on it is going to be different than me. If they go that route with this loot system. But at the
That
same,
and I hope that's the way it is.
yeah, it should be. You
I
should be
think
rewarded
a
for your
level
rank.
55 should be able to kill a level 5 if it's at the same advantage. Now, if a
Yeah.
level 5 is looking out a window and the level 55 is running across the field with his
Oh,
back to him,
then the guy's an idiot for
obviously.
running around exactly in the middle of the map. But if it's
Yeah.
something, yeah,
I like the idea of upgrading things. I like the one thing that they were talking about was how you earn things with time played. I think that's good, but I also like want it to be for doing different achievements and doing things like I just want things to be earned,
yeah,
not given to you. You know,
or
same thing
bought
like
or bought
yeah,
because that whole
or bought. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know,
because you have
like
to
the next thing you know what's going to be next? You're going to be
what
able to buy XP.
see that's where I was headed because
It's
because
going to
of
be
the
like,
fact that
oh, you want to level up your clan? You can buy 10 million XP for $20,
yeah
and you know,
because with the loot system, that's taking uh microtransactions to a whole nother ball game. Because if they, all right, let's say they do follow the Battlefield system, like within reason. Like if you pay for premium, like this is what premium gave you for Battlefield. The only reason why I wanted it because it was actually worth it. I got all the maps and they had 5 map packs, battle shit. I mean, the loot thing for them, if they do follow suit to Battlefield within reason, the battle packs, like their loot thing will give you so much per month. And then they'll give you like bonuses for like holidays and stuff like that. They should do stuff like that, but however, they have to find a way to ensure the balance.
right?
Like
Yeah.
like what I
I mean,
didn't go ahead. Like what I didn't like for all right, let's say Black Ops 2, when they dropped the Peacekeeper. I didn't like the fact that if you didn't have it, you can still pick it up. That was, it sucks for that person that doesn't have access to it. Why should you have access to a gun if you haven't paid for it?
yeah, but
I,
here's why they do that. The same reason why you can pick up a gun with a certain camo on it.
yeah,
If let's say I pick up a gun and I'm like, oh my God, I love this camo,
yeah.
a
Then
certain percentage of those people are going to go buy that camo
yeah,
because
it's
they picked it up.
advertisement, right? No, I could
Same
see
thing with the
where they.
Peacekeeper. If
Hmm.
they start using it and they're like, wow, this is actually a really good gun. Okay, I'm going to go buy it.
Yeah,
And I
because of
mean,
the
they're
advertisement. It sucks
yeah.
though, but that's just my little, rant on it. Like, argh.
All right, so because we're gonna have to call this. I know you got to get up early, but let's touch on this as our last topic
All right,
here.
hold on. We got one more question. We got one
Oh,
more
we do? All
question.
right, one
Yeah,
more.
let's.
All right.
All right, last question from my buddy Calvin, my classmate. This is off topic, but what are your thoughts of EA Access?
That's that's what I was gonna say. This whole Ground Zero thing,
That
this
well,
pre-order,
well,
get it.
no. Yeah, the his. All right, you want to answer that one first? I'll let you answer, and then I'll jump in because I've been doing a lot of talking. I got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. I have to. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're
Like,
just gonna. Oh, what I'm gonna say is so important. You're gonna leave.
well, well,
What?
I have to go to the bathroom. I've been drinking. Look, my water bottle's empty. I have to go. I'll be right
Look,
back.
look at mine.
All right, so you know what? Fuck it. I'll stick it out. We got 5 more minutes. All right, let's go. Let's
Five
do
more
this.
minutes. Okay,
Answer
real
your
quick.
question.
All right. I think this is the best pre-order bonus they've ever had. Don't give me some crappy Skyfall map thing that's a horrible map to begin with. I think getting the game early, that's a benefit. Like there's no benefit to pre-order when there's times where I'm sitting in GameStop, the night I've pre-ordered it, 2 months in advance or whatever, and I show up and some guy buys it that same night and I may get the video game 5 minutes, before he does, and all I get is some map that was garbage. I think getting it a whole extra day, I think getting it double XP that whole extra day. I mean, if you don't pre-order this game, you're probably not gonna buy it because that's by far, I think, the best pre-order bonus they've ever done. Um, I think this early access. I mean, I couldn't pick a better thing. Now, what I want to know is what does this do to the whole market of getting the game like 4 or 5 days early? How soon is it now going to be available? Is that going to be more restricted now because you still can get it early? Are you going to be able to upload it on YouTube that day, or are you going to have to wait until the 4th? Like,
Hey,
what are
you know what's funny? I'm glad you mentioned that because I did. I sent a message to Machinima about that, and they told me as long as you get it legally, you're good. But at the same time, people with Twitch, that's gonna be a big issue. I just see it because here's my thing now. Okay, with the PS4, they're doing the digital download for Advanced Warfare. You pay for it online. You can preload it before midnight. Midnight, start playing. Bam, not even leaving the house. So did because of the fact I pre-ordered it already and I have it paid for, and because they answered regarding if you pre-ordered in store, they never said anything if you did it online. They said if you bought it through Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, Target, GameStop, whatever,
GameStop.
you get if you pre-ordered already, you get the day zero. Okay, that's great. What about people that paid for that shit digitally? Are they getting that same? Because I've yet to see an answer on that. So, what do I think about the EA Access? It's good, but at the same time, there's a reason why Sony said no. There is a huge reason why they said no. And you know what? In time, we'll get our answer. We'll get our answer as to why they said no. But for now, just, go with the win. Because I think it's good. Honestly, I really do think it's good because older games all right, if EA really drops all their games, every title they've ever made, it's HD, they remaster it, it's great, or even if they allow you to just play it, it's good that they let you get access to the games because, Medal of Honor, that's a hard game to get now because, it's longer in production, a lot of places aren't taking it, so them giving, it's like Netflix for games, that's actually really smart that they're doing that. But at the same time, when do they say enough's enough with pricing? Because if they're trying to do that, then that means they're trying to, put GameStop, GameFly, Redbox, because there's so many ways how you can have access to a game. So I think they're trying to go digitally with it. It's not a bad idea, but that reassurance knowing I have the disc in my hand is much more reassuring, and you can chime in on this anytime you want, James. It's knowing that it's there. It's an actual object, like my iPad. It's an actual object.
I want the disc.
I want the disc. Because here's proof that I bought it. If you get it online or you buy it digitally, emails can be counterfeited, receipts can be fraudulent. I mean, the disc in my hand, that's my safe haven.
A file could be corrupt.
The file could be corrupted.
That could
exactly.
go wrong.
It's an object.
I don't want to have to sit there and try to call, speak to some customer service thing, try to look up some email from 6 months ago that showed that I had it, I just want to take that disc and I want to put it in the machine and hit play. And
exactly.
But this Ground Zero thing should be interesting because it's like, do I pick the game up on GameStop on the 3rd, or do I get it on the 4th, or do I download it, on when I pre-order it, do I get a code and then I play the first part of the game on a code? I mean, it makes no sense. It's almost as confusing. Remember last year? Remember when Ghost came out?
Yeah.
And people are like, well, do I get it on PS3? Do I get it on PS4? Do I upgrade? Is it free? Is it $10?
See, that's the thing.
It's still the same problem. Like, people don't know. Is it gonna be? Because from what I was
talking about that now, they were talking about that now for Destiny because Ghost was the first game. Because I don't remember Black Ops 2 doing because next gen wasn't out for Black Ops 2, but Ghost was the one. I do like that they set that trend.
Because it came out like a week before the console.
It came out before the console. So okay, you get it now if you want to play it. However, the upgrade is just $10 more.
And I was fine with that.
I was fine with that. But at the same time, for Destiny, I'm going to make this one quick. For Destiny, when I pre-ordered it on the PS4. Why? Because at the present time, the PS4 was the only console you could do it. I pre-ordered it the day E3 showed up. I went to GameStop that same day and was like, all right, I want to pre-order this. So when I pre-ordered it, that was the only console it was available on. But then when they finally, okay, you can pre-order any console now, any time of day, whatever. So I got the code, and I was like, all right, I gave the codes out, and then the next day when they was like, all right, available for all consoles, I was like, you know what? Let me play it for all. I downloaded it on the PS3, I downloaded it on the Xbox 360, Xbox One. I had it running at the same time. And here's what I found. What was surprising: the Xbox One was an immediate download. With the PS4, it was a download and then an install. With the
Hmm.
360 and the PS3, it was the same thing. It was just a download. You download, you play. So what was so different about the PS4 version that it required an install? Like the download was quick. I mean, seconds it was done. It took me damn near 12 hours, James. I literally was like,
Yeah.
fuck it. I left it on, turned off the TV, I went to bed. I got up the next morning and it was like at 90%. The missus turned off the PS4 for me before she went to work because I was already in class.
Yeah, it took
So,
forever to.
yeah,
Well, I remember they were saying something like there was going to be two versions of the game. There was going to be the next gen, and then there's going to be, the old gen, and or the current gen now, I guess. But and they were saying, I forget where I saw it. Somebody put it on YouTube or whatever, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like this the new console is going to have, these features, and then they're going to have a more broke down style of game, on the old gen.
right.
And now like I didn't see anything like any benefit besides graphics, obviously. I don't think there's going to be, because that was the whole thing when this new engine thing came out. It was like, oh well, the PS4 not this year because Ghost came out 10 days before, but next year it's going to be on a whole new engine.
And
But
they sure as hell,
I
they
don't
sure,
see that.
they sure as
I
hell
don't
didn't
see it
mention
any
that shit
different.
for. They sure as hell. You know what's funny? I was talking to the guys on. I'm gonna get you on this group me shit because of the fact that we have some interesting conversations. But what? Oh, that's actually a good response. Them removing Dead Silence and Amplify that will screw up search, and the $500 headset sound whores will reign supreme. Yeah, that's definitely sound whoring in that game is not gonna be a thing, knowing that fucking people stomp everywhere. But what the hell was I saying? I totally lost my fucking train of thought. What were we just talking about, James?
I don't know.
I totally lost my train of thought.
We were talking about, what were we talking about?
Damn it. I totally forgot what the fuck we were talking about.
Read the last. What was the last question?
No, wait, hold on. Damn
Now,
it,
if
I
we only
forgot what
had
the
an
hell I was talking
Elgato
about.
running.
Hold on.
No, we were talking about. The difference is like the new consoles not having any difference. Like
Oh,
basically, what
I
if
got
somebody
it.
were to ask me, should I buy, Call of Duty Ghosts for 360 or let's say PS3 or PS4? I'd say, well,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to play it in 720 or 1080? Because that's pretty much the only difference of the game.
Yeah.
There's there's no real benefit from what I've seen. We don't have, the game plays the exact same. It looks better in one. That's it.
That's just it. Like that's all next gen was is next gen graphics. That's why I'm hoping that this game, because I know that old, 360 and PS3, they still have another year left in their life cycle. Yes, that's good. But here's where I think the money will be put to good use with game developers. They have to pay to have the game ported over and pretty much dumbed down to old gen. 360, PS3, Wii U, whatever. Um, when Sony and Microsoft say, all right, you know what? We've given you guys enough time. You've gotten your 3-year cycle. We've given you more than enough time to get a next gen. We're gonna, cancel the support for PS3 and whatnot. I think that money that they save from having to either do it themselves or pay another developer to dumb down the game to make it playable for old gen, I think that money will go to a lot more better use for the simple fact that, a lot of people are complaining, oh, the servers suck. They have the servers, but at the same time, they're not using them all.
Well, I think on the server side, they play, especially like on PlayStation. they just started this, thing where you have to pay every year to go online. But
Mm-hmm.
that money is going to take time to come in, to the point where it's going to buy that kind of a server setup. You know, I don't think Sony just said, "Hey, we're going to build this gigantic server thing, first, and then the money will come in." I think the first year, one, they could kind of get away with it because so many people were still on PS3. They had kind of time to say, well, um, this is going to take a little bit, and I think now that it's been a year, people are still signing up for it. I think that's going to take and now give them a little bit more
I lost you. Oh, there
money.
you go. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're not moving on camera.
Yeah, you froze.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
There
now
you
you're
go.
back. Welcome back. I think now that they've got a year of people pouring in this money for PlayStation, I think
Yeah.
that's what's being used to develop and build these servers and set it up. I don't think Sony just, said, you know what, we're going to do dedicated servers and cut them a check. Not that they don't have the money. I just don't think they would just do something like that. I think
Yeah.
they would, especially when they could buy it for, kind of, they had a year to stall, and I think now they can use
Yeah.
that money to take and say,
So,
hey, look, we used that money, and now look how much better your experience is because we put your hard money to work.
so
That's
you
what they
don't
would
you
say.
don't think that they took a blind leap of faith? You think that they actually,
Yeah.
they made sure that their ducks were lined up
I think they're
before.
going to spin it to where they're going to say, you know what, you guys, showed the support of, the PlayStation Plus, and we want to show you that we've, done this, and this with your hard-earned money to give you the best gaming experience possible because at PlayStation, that's what we want to do.
Right.
And I think they're going to spin it like that because they got a lot of slack, when people were saying, or when people were upset when they're like, "Oh, I got to pay now." I'm fine with it because if you think about it, okay, $50, that's like going out to dinner once, maybe twice if it's at, like a cheap restaurant. But how many nights does a gaming console consume, where if you didn't have a PlayStation or an Xbox, that you would go out and spend money? Like over the year, it probably saves everyone $500, if not more, per year because now they can do things at home, which doesn't really cost anything versus going out.
Yeah.
So for $50 a year, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
All right, we have one more question, and this is an Xbox question. What about the power of the cloud? The cloud right now is the biggest bullshit known to man. And the reason why I say that, the cloud is it's useful in its ways, but it's nowhere near as much as they're hyping it, and here's why. If you remember a few months ago, Larry Herb made an announcement regarding the Xbox One having external USB support as far as storage. Why would you push that on a console that already has 500 gigs? There's not enough games out there to support, because you could buy almost every Xbox One game right now and you'd still have a ton of storage left. But the fact that they pushed the external storage lets you know that the cloud is nowhere near where it needs to be. It's not to its full capacity yet. So right now, my thing on it, the cloud, the cloud regarding Xbox One, it's a baby right now. It is. It really is a baby. Because the thing with the Xbox One, their UI was because Windows 8 is that's the baby right now. So with Windows 8, they wanted to make the UI revolve around Windows 8, and I'm sorry, if you don't have a touchscreen, Windows 8 is garbage. I don't
Yeah.
like the layout. I
I
don't like the way
specifically got Windows 7 just because I didn't want to deal with
it's
Windows 8.
it's not every program works fluidly with Windows 8. So unless you have a touchscreen of some sort, Windows 8, it's not for me. Well, it could be for you, but it's not for me. Like I don't see the full potential in it if I don't have a touchscreen.
Yeah.
So that's my thing on the power of the cloud. You want to do the wrap up on this?
Yes, all right. So that was man, we should have done that from the first.
I told you,
This
dude.
was
I'm
very
telling you,
interactive.
this was. I love this
Kyle's gonna
right
be kicking
here. Is
himself in the
better.
pants. Kyle's gonna be kicking himself in the pants. But in his
He had,
the,
it's his
yeah,
birthday. Shout
it's his
out to
birthday.
Kyle. Happy
So
belated
if
birthday. Have
yes,
a nice time.
advisory note, it's his birthday, so he's out having a good time, hopefully being safe, and he will be back. We're gonna do this show every Wednesday. I think we're definitely
Yes.
gonna keep this layout because
Hmm.
this was a lot of fun. And thank you everybody for the questions that you guys were providing. And as this gets bigger, it's gonna be. We may actually have to get somebody just to handle answering the questions and stuff. But hey, you know what? That's a good problem to have. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. We definitely had a great time, and this was by far I think our best show just because of it was so interactive, which is exactly the kind of feel that we want. So
Yes.
if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can just go. My Twitter is actually at Mr. Jamestown. The show's Twitter is Gamers Lounge TV. And of course, you can find Great One at Great One 718. And we're
That's
going to
right.
have these videos. If you missed like a certain part of the show, we're actually going to be uploading this so you can watch it again as well. We may break it into chunks or something so it's not all one long video. But thank you guys for the support. We'll see you next week. Show's going to start around 8, 9 o'clock. Just follow us on Twitter. We'll make sure we tweet out the links when the show is live. And if you got any final words, Great One, before you run to the pisser.
The only thing I want to say is thank you for everybody coming out. I appreciate the feedback as far as the interaction, like how he said, because there was a lot of things you can only cover in a short amount of time, but when you actually have the one-on-one, me, you, and Kyle, when he gets back, we'll sit down, we'll go over this again, we'll get him up to speed. But interacting with people through the chat, that's people on Twitter, like that's the best way to clear the air and to get all that shit out when you do it on this level.
Yeah.
I can't wait till like we get big and like people, there's like several 25, 30, 40, 50 people in here answering questions, because then it's going to be, yeah, we're going to have somebody manage the questions, because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to look at this, talk to you, talk to people on the phone, I have people on my tablet hitting me up. So it's like, yeah, we did
Yeah,
good.
but the thing is, and if this is something that if it's the first time you've heard of us or seen us or whatnot, we're gonna be doing this like I said every Wednesday night. Tell your friends. We definitely appreciate the support, and no matter how large we get, if it ever gets to that, we're always gonna keep it this type of environment. So we want everyone to feel comfortable that they can come in, they can ask a question, and we'll do our best to try to answer as many as possible.
Yeah.
So
Next
all right,
time, I'd like to
guys.
have more people in here. You know,
Yes. So tell your friends, tweet out the links when we tweet them out on Wednesday. Spread the word. We definitely do appreciate it. And maybe now that we got this, maybe we'll start up the Control Freak giveaway or something next time.
yes, I
Maybe
definitely agree.
so we can do it live right on the show, which I think will be pretty cool. So, all right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Deuces.
Deuces.
See
Take it easy, bud.
ya.